Good morning. We're going live. We're going live. Welcome, welcome, everyone.
Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
The opinions expressed on the following
Welcome to the show, everyone. Make sure you subscribe. We're going on the air live right now.
Necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve King Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m. 7 nights a week.
All right. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve King Show, on the radio since 1977. Oh, my goodness, because, yeah, that's a long time. I know, that's right, because of all of you out there in the listening audience. This is the longest running radio show in the state of Florida. Welcome. So much to talk about. My name is Brian Craig. We are live in Morning Drive from 6 until 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, with overnight rebroadcast 7 nights a week. Broadcasting on 3 FM radio stations, 1 AM station, and of course iHeartRadio and TuneIn Radio. Oh man, I tell you, woke up this morning and all hell has broken loose. Yeah, this strike in this strike in Iraq against Iran. If you listen to the liberal pundits and the liberal cable news, I mean, they're like in mourning over the death of this guy. But, Trump had to respond. I saw one of the ex-Barack Obama officials, can't remember which one it was because they're all attacking Trump as always, but one of the former Obama officials said that Trump's policy is erratic. And in a situation that is unfolding right now with Iran, President Trump being unpredictable is a good thing. Because Iran, everyone's saying, well, Iran is going to have to respond. We responded to Iran, they're going to respond to us. Lindsey Graham said that if you are in Iran and you work in an oil refinery, start looking for another job, which means oil refineries will be on the target list next. I am very, very anti-war, almost to the peacenik side. Was not always that way until we were lied into a war by George W. Bush and British intelligence with the phony weapons of mass destruction story in Iraq. But you know what? President Trump is an anti-war guy too. He has been against war his entire life, including all the way back to the Vietnam War. So he's not one of these warmongers like the Bush family and the Cheneys and all of that. So I have a lot of confidence in President Trump that things are not going to get out of hand. However, I'm seeing it's a good thing that this guy is dead. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm not criticizing Trump for this drone strike that took out this top Iranian general who's the head of their whole terror operation. Don't misunderstand me. But I'm hearing a lot of people get excited and celebrate that we're getting into it with Iran. That's insane. That's how things were in the Iraq War back in 2003. So many people all excited, and then, it'll be quick. They're nothing. It's Iraq. It's Saddam. The people don't want him there. And here we are, 17 years later, and we are still in Iraq 17 years later. So I am not a war person. I'm not a supporter of war with anyone. President Trump isn't either. And I was listening to some analysis early this morning about the Iran. Everyone assumes Iran will respond, which I guess is likely. But some of the analysis I heard, they were saying that, President Trump, having had such a massive response taking this guy out, the Iranians must be discussing what they think the follow-up response will be to their response. And if there is an Iranian response of any kind, I mean, keep in mind what happened at the U.S. Embassy in Iraq. There was no loss of life. And President Trump responded with overwhelming force and resolve. If the Iranians respond And their response results in the loss of life, especially civilian life, innocent civilian life. President Trump's response is going to be massive. And I promise you, right now, the responses are our response to the Iranian response that hasn't happened yet. Our response has probably already been decided upon, planned out, and is standing by, and it will be quick and it'll be massive. And I don't like hearing people cheer on these things. It's easy to cheer when you're sitting in front of your television set or listening to me on an iPhone or on a radio. It's a whole nother thing if you're over there. And an escalation in the Middle East is the last thing we need. But, there's a big difference between President Trump's response to Iran and George Bush's response to Iraq. Iran actually did something at our embassy. They actually did something. They've done a lot of things, actually. The WMDs that got us into Iraq, that was a complete lie. And that was the attack, when we invaded Iraq or attacked Iraq first before the invasion in 2003, that was without us being attacked first or an ally. That was one of the few times that the United States has done that. It was kind of like it was a preemptive attack on Iraq in 2003. And that's one of the things that made it so controversial. Unlike September 11th, the Taliban backed Saddam Hussein and al-Qaeda, so that response was not as debated. But moving into Iraq with the WMD lie, that was debated because they had not attacked us. So here we are in a whole new area with this great president we have, Donald Trump, who we're very lucky to have as president. We certainly are. And for the very first time ever, really, Iran has suffered a response by the United States for something they've done to us. Right? I've never seen such a quick, swift response of any kind against Iran. Iran, since I've been a kid in 1979, I was 8 years old. Since 1979, Iran has been doing whatever they want. And no one has stopped them. So things are going to escalate. And they're probably going to escalate fast. And I'm not comfortable being some cheerleader. All right, yeah. No, it's terrible. It's terrible. Steve's son right now is in tank school. He's a second lieutenant in the Army. He's going to be a tank commander soon. He could find himself deployed over there in this hot war. And a lot of other people, too, that are listening to this program have parents and spouses who are in the service who very well could be deployed as well. And when you see a 17-year-long conflict with Iraq, because we're still there, still fighting in Iraq, it's not going to be over in 3 weeks with Iran either. And when I hear people cheering on, because that's basically what the tone you're hearing from a lot of people, it always reminds me of that scene in Gone with the Wind when you first meet Red Butler and they're at 12 Oaks, and they find out that Fort Sumter has been fired on, and they come in, they're all excited, Yahoo! And they're all signing up. They're all excited about the Civil War. Remember that? And then, of course, with hindsight of Margaret Mitchell's writing, Red Butler talks about how foolish they are. But they were, it's going to be 3 weeks, we'll be back. And then the next scene, of course, everyone's a widow, and a lot of the guys are already dead, and, it went down the tube. So every time there's a build-up to a war, we always hear about how quick it's going to be. It's going to be fast. It won't be over. It'll be over before you know it and all this stuff. They always say that, and rarely is it true. Maybe Grenada, during that invasion of Grenada. But they always say it's, or Panama, when we went into Panama. But those are exceptions. Those aren't like wars. So every time these things happen, I hear it's going to be quick, we'll be in, we'll be out. Our military is so much more advanced. Their people don't support them. No, this is going to get bad. So I'd love to hear all your thoughts on this. Now, again, it was a very good thing that President Trump had this response. Please don't misunderstand me. And to my knowledge, on attacks made on U.S. embassies, President Trump is the only president to have a response when our embassies have been attacked. Look at Tehran. Look at Benghazi. Look at the African embassies when Bill Clinton was president. Only Donald Trump has responded, and responded fast, swiftly, and had some pretty major consequences for those who were behind this. No other president has ever done that, and that is a good thing. The problem is, you know, when people give analysis of Iran, they're not sane people over there in Iran. They're just not. And when you are dealing with people who are not sane, you know, you're in a whole nother ball game. So I'm not happy about any of this, and I'm not cheering anything on. I mean, I'm glad that he took this guy out, no doubt about it. But I'm concerned about what I mean, look, they're telling every American in Iraq to get out. And yeah, I mean, it's got to be a frightening, chaotic situation over there right now, which will escalate. So your thoughts on this certainly are welcome on either side, liberal, conservative. Boy, our number 888-GO-KANE-1. That's Kane with a K, K-A-N-E, and the number 1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
Right now, the U.S. is in the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic. In South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours, either from heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine cabinet.
You two,
In fact,
what, Connie?
Mom and
Yeah,
Dad's
you guys in the
medicine
chat room, you
cabinet
guys
is
have,
frequently
if you have
linked
never
with
called the
horrors
show
of
before, give me a
hardcore
call.
addiction down the road. Drug problems left unattended are only going to get worse. This is not
Especially
something
the
you can do
liberals.
on your own. You need expert professional help, and if your family is disintegrating in front of your eyes and you feel helpless, I'm here to tell you that help is available. Call my good friend.
Well, if you've
Sam
called,
at
you
the
can
Edge
call too,
Recovery,
Charlie.
561
But I'd like to hear
area
from
code
some people that have never called that are in the chat room every day.
523-4325. This is his personal
But of course, if
cell
you've
phone,
called, you're welcome to call. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
523-4325. If your loved one refuses treatment, the Edge Recovery will conduct an intervention and get them into the treatment plan that they need. The Edge Recovery offers every option, from intervention to 30-day rehab to sober living to counseling with a licensed therapist, as well as group therapy treatment. It's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation is, the Edge Recovery has options for you. Call Sal at the Edge Recovery. Do it today. 561 area code 523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal
You're too shy.
cell
Come
phone.
on, Connie.
561-523-4325.
Attention all Berries Vitamins customers. All the vitamins and supplements you know and love are available at Save-A-Lot Nutrition Centers, and the prices are a fraction of what you were paying before. Stop in or call Save-A-Lot. Save-A-Lot Nutrition
I wouldn't be mean.
Centers is located
I'm very
half
mellow
mile
today.
South of Sample Road on the west
Very
side
mellow.
of
Had a
State
great
Road
day
7
yesterday.
in the Penn Dutch Plaza. Speak with Al. He's the owner. Tell him what supplements you were looking for, and he will be more than happy to get you the supplements you need. Save-A-Lot Nutrition Centers, 754-307-1655. 754-307-1655.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Brian Craig here with you. This is the Steve Kane Show. Save-A-Lot Nutrition Center. Oh, man, I love Save-A-Lot. Steve and I were over at Save-A-Lot Nutrition Center yesterday, both of us loading up and replenishing our supplements. And Al, the owner of Save-A-Lot, they have an incredible New Year's special going on at Save-A-Lot. And this goes for people that not only stop in Save-A-Lot, but also do orders over the phone, because I know a lot of you can't make it into Save-A-Lot. Maybe you are out of town, or maybe you just can't make it to Margate where they're located. But this offer that I'm about to tell you about at Save-A-Lot is good for both in the store and phone orders. And it's a good deal. Listen to this. Now, Save-A-Lot already has incredibly low prices. I mean, their prices on supplements are so low. The prices of the items they have on the shelf are lower than the prices you can get the supplements for online. It's absolutely amazing. Save-A-Lot. And as a New Year's special, Save-A-Lot is offering 15% off their already low prices. 15% off. I know, it's absolutely amazing. Steve and I were in there, and I got a new cholesterol supplement with CoQ10, and I got the 15% off the already low price, and it was less than $15 for the bottle, which is absolutely amazing. And just to give you the price point on that, our old friend Barry Nevins, who passed away at Barry's Vitamins, the exact same supplement that I bought yesterday for $15 at Save-A-Lot was $50 at Barry's Vitamins. That's how low the prices are at Save-A-Lot. So listen, no matter where you are located, around Florida, around South Florida, or even outside of Florida, call Save-A-Lot and take advantage of these deals. Their phone number is 754-307-1655. 754-307-1655. And of course, you can stop in. They're located in the Penn Dutch Plaza, although Penn Dutch isn't there anymore. Save-A-Lot is. The Penn Dutch Plaza, which is immediately south of Sample Road on the west side of 441 State Road 7. Save-A-Lot. And yeah, take advantage of that offer. 15% off. They're already low prices. All right, so here, let me play this montage I picked up from Newsbusters this morning of CNN, and it's a montage of the CNN analysis. Now, keep in mind, this guy, Soleimani, the worst of the worst. He's like top general for Iran. What the hell is he doing in Baghdad? What's he doing in Iraq? And the leader of their entire international terror operation, who's walked around with fear of nothing because the United States has never stood up to Iran, really, when they've attacked us or our allies. And CNN, listen to this montage. This is from Newsbusters of CNN last night.
Strike is fairly brazen, fairly audacious to a certain degree, to be taking out someone of such significance at a time when there is such tension in the region.
But the issue is, was this a wise move, and what are going to be the repercussions? And is the Trump administration ready for this escalating crisis with Iran? And so, leaving aside the justice of the issue, the question is, was it a wise thing to do? We'll find out in the next few days. But given how haphazard the national security policymaking process is in this administration, you have to wonder. I think this crisis is really reflecting some of the contradictions of President Trump's foreign policy, which can be described as bellicose isolationism. And, he keeps talking about wanting to pull out of the Middle East, but also wanting to strike back and be a counterpoint.
This is CNN. It goes on. I'll play more of it as we go on. But here was a U.S. embassy was attacked. An embassy is the soil, the territory of that country. So an attack on a U.S. embassy is the same as an attack here in the homeland. It's as if they made an attack in Washington, D.C. or Nebraska. And the reason they attacked our embassy is because they didn't think we would do anything about it, right? They didn't think we would do anything about it. And I think President Trump has been quite restrained. It was a drone strike, targeted one individual. I don't know who else was hurt and killed in the attack, but he targeted one individual, and he did it within the borders of Iraq.
Strike back and be a counterpuncher, and he's making threats and issuing ultimatums, and now you're seeing all of that come to a head right now, where this is a crisis that President Trump has really created between the U.S. and Iran, because
this is a crisis this is CNN. This is amazing to me. This is a crisis that President Trump has created with the U.S. and Iran. There has never been a time since I was in the third grade that we have not been in conflict with Iran. I've been hearing about Iran forever. This is not, this is, what basically you have here. When you look at the analysis on CNN, and this isn't just CNN, it'll be MS13BC and all the rest, they have administration officials from Barack Obama's administration. These are the people that gave them the pallets of cash. Okay, they were cozying up and making friends with these guys. You know, so it's almost like they're taking this attack personally. It's almost like they're in a state of mourning over this.
U.S. and Iran, because although the U.S. and Iran have a long history of animosity dating back to 1979, relations had actually quieted down quite a bit since President Obama concluded the Iranian nuclear deal in 20.
I mean, remember when the Iranians stood up in protest? When was that? Was it 2009 or 2011? When did Michael Jackson die? Because it was the same time. I remember I was in Washington, D.C., and it was the same week I was in Washington, D.C., and I remember being in a restaurant in D.C. when I heard Michael Jackson died. So it was the same time. And we did nothing. We allowed them to massacre their own people. What was President Trump supposed to do? Just suck up the attack on our embassy? You know, when you're dealing with people that have dealt with zero repercussions, when they carry out an attack like they did on our embassy, do you think they're going to stop at that? They're going to come back, and they're going to do it again, and they're going to do it bigger. Now, of course, right now, the U.S. government is telling every American to get out of Iraq that's there, that can leave, and they're preparing the embassy for more attacks. Yeah. That tells you everything you need to know. We were the victims here. This wasn't Iraq 03 where we made a preemptive strike. We were attacked. A U.S. embassy was attacked, right? A U.S. soil was attacked. We're supposed to do what? Put on some more fake sanctions? No, you got to stand up. You got to stand up. This is the Daily Mail. Oh man, I tell you, I know it's scary. The left are so predictable, aren't they? The left always take the side of Iran over the United States, or really they take the side of anyone over the United States. That's how the left operate. Here's the Daily Mail. Political reaction to the United States Thursday's killing of top Iranian General Soleimani was split among partisan lines, with Democrats warning of unforeseen consequences, while Republicans praise President Trump. I promise you, President Trump reluctantly did this. You think he likes, reluctantly, I mean, I don't think he was, he doesn't like to drop bombs and escalate things militarily. He's an anti-war guy, but we were attacked. And a lot of the analysis I've heard says that this taking out of Soleimani is more significant than taking out Osama bin Laden, because bin Laden was in hiding at the time and wasn't really running anything, while this guy was running an international terror operation. So it's more significant than even that. You know, it's an interesting thing too, because when you go back, because everyone's comparing this to bin Laden, when bin Laden was taken out in Pakistan, all of these analysts that are saying this is a terrible thing were praising that. This guy's currently running an international terror op. Why is that bad to take him out? But bin Laden, who was basically in retirement with all of his wives and kids in Pakistan, why was that something to cheer? Got a gnat flying around me in here. I'm going to catch him with my hands at some point. He likes the microphone. This gnat is really teasing me here. Oh, boy. Top Democrats, while condemning Soleimani, warned that the airstrike had the potential to set off a war and chastised Trump for not seeking congressional approval. He can't tell the Congress. He cannot tell to tell the Congress is to tell the senior Democrat leadership. Would you throw this out to you? Did Donald Trump do the right thing not informing Congress? I say yes. Just like he didn't inform it when he took out the head of ISIS recently. Can you trust these Democrats with their sham impeachment? The coup continued with this information in advance? Would you trust them? Or would you be afraid it would leak out? And if it leaked out, well, the operation wouldn't be successful. President Trump didn't tell Congress because he doesn't trust them to keep it a secret. And I challenge anyone to take issue with that. How could you trust them? Look at how they're behaving. Has anyone claimed wag the dog yet? I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't seen anybody do it yet. Joe Biden, the Democratic frontrunner, said in a statement that President Trump just tossed a stick of dynamite into a tinderbox. Now think about this. I'm going to kill this gnat flying around. At some point, I'm going to get him. I'll get some chopsticks like Mr. Miyagi here. Now, Joe Biden, the Democrat frontrunner, is he really the frontrunner, do you think? I don't know. We'll find out soon. We're going to find out soon because they're going to have their first primaries, and we'll find out if these Democrat polls are really accurate or if they're just pushing Biden on us. But anyway, Joe Biden wants to be president. So Joe Biden says President Trump threw a stick of dynamite into a tinderbox. Well, what would President Joe Biden do if a foreign state like Iran attacks a U.S. embassy under his watch? What do you do? Just suck it up and fix the damage? What would you do if you were President Biden, Joe Biden? I love these attacks with no solutions. These attacks they make on his reaction without an alternative. And since they give us no alternative, I can only assume that they think that we should have sucked up the attack. Oh, well, that's just what they do. Moving along. Let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. We'll finish up with this story in the Daily Mail. I tell you, the left. All right, let's take our break. It is 6:30 in the morning. It's Friday, people. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be back right after this.
I'm Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian. I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used tires. And when I went up there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going for that one, man. It's everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man. And Mike's a great guy, man.
Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we can save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
No doubt, Robert.
And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
This is Steve Kane. When it comes to looking your best, sometimes you need a little extra help. Dr. Nathan at the Nathan Clinic is a renowned plastic surgeon here in South Florida who will bring out your most beautiful self. Dr. Nathan, highly skilled, knows how to reveal your inner beauty and make you look your absolute best. He's a board-certified plastic surgeon. People come from miles around just because of his extraordinary skills and his caring bedside manner. Dr. Nathan performs breast augmentations, facelifts, Botox, tummy tucks, liposuction, and much, much more. Visit his website. Read the testimonials from his patients. They love Dr. Nathan, and you will too. He has years of experience and impressive credentials that make Dr. Nathan the only plastic surgeon you need visit. He'll advise you and tell you the best course of action so that you will always remain true to who you are. You can contact Dr. Nathan.
Make sure you guys subscribe, all right?
Consultation by calling 305.
Somebody just sent me a message. What's the show? This is the Tim Tracker, who's a big YouTuber. Anyone know the Tim Tracker?
680-5121 or online.
He and his wife just had a baby.
Tell him you heard it on the Steve Kane Show.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. 34 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Don't forget, Friendly Tire in Margate, where they guarantee, you got the lowest prices on tires anywhere. I mean, there's just no doubt about it, both new and used. They are open on Saturdays. Friendly Tire open on Saturdays for new tires, used tires, and, of course, tire repairs. I'll tell you more about Friendly Tire a little bit later, but Friendly Tire open on Saturdays. So if you can't make it in during the week, you can always make it in on Saturday. All right, so back to this. This article I'm going through from the Daily Mail. The United States was attacked. Well, our embassy was attacked. That's U.S. soil. It was an attack that Iran was responsible for. The president has taken out the top Iraqi general in charge of their entire terror network. And, of course, shocker, the liberals think Iran has been victimized here, apparently. So let's get back to presidential wannabe Joe Biden. So Joe Biden, the Democratic frontrunner, said in a statement that President Trump just tossed a stick of dynamite into a tinderbox. The administration statement says that its goal is to deter future attacks by Iran. But this action almost certainly will have the opposite effect, Joe Biden said. So Joe Biden, again, no solutions. No solutions. So Joe Biden believes that when the U.S. is attacked abroad, we should do nothing because they might respond to our defense of our people and our soil. Okay, that's just what you want in a president. Let's see here. Oh yes, this is back to the Daily Mail, and you guys should all read the Daily Mail. It's the best. If you could only read one source of news online every day, the Daily Mail is the one to go to. Okay, it leans to the left. Don't misunderstand me, but they got all the stories in there. So back to the Daily Mail. Perhaps the most forceful condemnation from the Democratic side came from Senator Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders says, when I voted against the war in Iraq in 2002, he's always championing that. He's a broken clock. Broken clock. He was right. I mean, his vote was the right vote. We should not have gone to war in Iraq in 2002. There's no doubt. But he wasn't some bold visionary. He just, got lucky with that vote. But anyway, Bernie Sanders, when I voted against the war in Iraq in 2002, I feared it would lead to a greater destabilization of the region. The U.S. has lost approximately 4,500 brave troops. Tens of thousands have been wounded, and we've spent trillions. Yeah, well, he's right about that. Trump's, and he goes on, Trump's dangerous escalation. Notice how this is Trump's escalation. Is that an accurate statement? I think it's Iran's escalation, right? Who attacked who? We're the victim. We're the ones who were attacked. Anyway, Bernie Sanders, Trump's dangerous escalation brings us closer to another disastrous war in the Middle East that could cost countless lives and trillions more dollars. Stop with this fiscal responsibility crap, okay, Bernie Sanders? Trump promised to end endless wars, but this action puts us on the path towards another one. Could you imagine? Listen, think about it. The peacenik liberals, with all of their arrogance, the left, excuse me, I had to clear my throat. The left were opposed to a military response in Afghanistan after the attacks on America of September 11th. Their vocal opposition was short-lived because public opinion was so much against that position. But the Democrats started blaming us for that attack. Well, poverty in the Middle East caused by U.S. and Israeli policy. Remember those days? Mario Cuomo, Bill Clinton, all this stuff, it died. It faded away quick because the left have always been this way. Remember, the left were against U.S. intervention in the Second World War, even. Until the workers' paradise, the Soviet Union, was attacked. That's a true story, by the way. Going back to Bernie Sanders, tonight's actions, this is Democrat Eliot Engel, congressman. Tonight's actions represents a massive escalation in our conflict with Iran with unpredictable consequences. Well, the one that is unpredictable here is President Trump. As I was saying earlier at the top of the hour, one of the Obama officials, I can't remember which one, it was a guy, I can't remember which one because I was watching a lot of them, said that President Trump's response is erratic. That's what you want in a situation like this. You don't want some easily predictable person. See, prior to President Trump, U.S. response was very predictable. Look at what these Democrats are saying. We get attacked and we suck it up and do nothing. Or bomb some empty buildings at 2:30, 3:30 in the morning when everyone's home except the janitorial staff. Okay? Oh, man. Democrat Senator Chris Murphy says, Soleimani was an enemy of the United States. That's not a question. The question is this. Did America just assassinate without any congressional authorizations the second most powerful person in Iran, knowing setting off a potential massive regional war, Senator Murphy says? Yeah, he did it without congressional authorization. You know why? He doesn't need congressional authorization. I love how Congress, they think they're equal to the president. They are not. He does not, they know now. He doesn't have to inform them. He can't trust them. They'll leak it out. It's 50-50 whether this would have been successful if he would have informed Congress. 50-50. Andrew Yang was the first of the Democratic presidential candidates to react to the strike, tweeting this. Andrew Yang says, war with Iran is the last thing we need and is not the will of the American people. We should be acting to de-escalate tensions and protect our people in the region. Again, criticism with no alternative solution. De-escalate. Our guys were just sitting in the embassy, doing their embassy work. And Iran attacks us. We didn't escalate anything. Senator Elizabeth Warren tweeted, Soleimani was a murderer, responsible for the deaths of thousands, including hundreds of Americans. But this reckless move escalates the situation with Iran and increases the likelihood of more deaths and a new Middle East conflict. Warren went on to say, our priority must be to avoid another costly war. So Elizabeth Warren, again, when we're attacked, do nothing. That's why this happened in the first place. Iran has never seen a serious response when they've done anything to us, ever. Jimmy Carter should have taken huge decisive action against Iran in 1979 when they took our hostages from our embassy. Should have taken a massive military action back then. Things would be settled today. Inaction is what led up to this. Who else are they quoting in here? Lindsey Graham, who's now an independent man since John McCain is not around anymore, said this, Soleimani was one of the most ruthless and vicious members of the Ayatollah's regime. He had American blood on his hands. If Iranian aggression continues, and I worked at an Iranian oil refinery, I would think about a new career, Lindsey Graham says, which tells you our follow-up will be to their oil refineries and oil fields. And you know what? Since the United States is now the #1 producer and the #1 exporter of oil, this helps the U.S. economy. It makes our oil more valuable if they can't drill it or refine it in Iran. Trump's campaign press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, said in an interview with Fox on the killing that this is one of the greatest foreign policy accomplishments of the decade, if not our lifetime. You know, it's very partisan. You know, you're not going to hear me cheering on war. And you know what? You're not going to hear President Trump cheering on a war either. Whether or not we go to war is not up to President Trump. It's up to Iran. And, you know, if Iran responds, which everyone says that they will, President Trump's response to their response will be probably the largest devastating military blow that Iran has ever experienced. It's not going to be some isolated little thing. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge and massive. And maybe that's a good thing in the long run. Because I got to tell you, I'm tired of dealing with... Are you guys tired of dealing with Iran? I mean, when can you remember that Iran wasn't pulling something? They've always been pulling something somewhere and doing something to someone and killing people and doing things. You know, I remember after 9/11, the peaceniks, when they started coming out and didn't want us to respond, there was a lot of talk about how important that 2000 recount was. Could you have imagined what would have happened on 9/11 if the president was not George W. Bush, but Al Gore? Al Gore may have been upset at the environmental impact of the attack, but if we had a Democrat president, what would the response have been? I'm not saying George Bush's response was perfect because he made a big mistake going into Iraq. No question about that. Should have left Iraq alone. I mean, you know. So much of what we're dealing with in the Middle East is because of George Bush today. But if we had a Democrat president, especially Al Gore, oh my goodness, on September 11th, whew. See, when you hear these Democrats who are almost in a state of mourning over the loss of this Iranian general, they give the, yes, he was a bad guy, he was a murderer. They get that disclaimer out, which with no emotion, and then they say, but Trump. You can hear it in the tone of their tweets and the tones of their speech when you watch them on television. Their criticism of Iran is just a necessary disclaimer that you can tell is not heartfelt. But when they start talking about Trump, that's when the emotion starts coming out. You can tell with every one of these pundits. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. I know some of you have been calling. I was reading through this article. If you'd like to call back, please do. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's Kane with a K, K-A-N-E, and the number 1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I know a lot of you have left messages for Steve and I over the New Year's. Some of them to play on the air, some of them for us to get back to you on some business matters. If you have left a message for Steve or myself, have no fear. By the beginning of the week, we've got a long list of messages and calls to return, and it's just a two-man band here, me and Steve Kane. So we're a little bit behind. So I don't usually say this on the air, but if you've left a message for us to return your call, Steve and I will get back to you by Monday. I promise you, okay? All right, let's take our break. Last break of the first hour, 47 minutes after 6. I'm Brian Craig. Don't go anywhere.
Owners, would you like to save money each and every month? Of course you would. We all want to save more money. But how? By calling I Will Advisors. That's how. At 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Oh yeah, you can hear it.
And have their expert team review.
You can hear it in their tone.
I Will Advisors will review your policy at no charge. Most homeowners never review their policy, but it should be reviewed every year. You commercial property owners, same goes for your property insurance policy. So what are you waiting for? Call I Will Advisors and start saving money. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
If you suffer from excruciating back pain or sciatica, pay careful attention to what I'm about to tell you. According to a study in the medical journal Spine, back surgeries to alleviate back pain frequently backfire, leaving the patient in more pain than before they had the surgery. A second study from the University of Cincinnati
Steve Kane
College
Show.
of Medicine provides clear evidence that 74% of surgeries for back pain fail. But there is an end to your suffering. There's a solution to your problem waiting for you with Dr. Troy Lamaski. Dr. Troy Lamaski is my personal chiropractor, and if the name sounds familiar, it should. He's the brother of Dr. Janae Lamaski. Dr. Troy specializes in the elimination of back pain, sciatica, joint pain. He does it quickly, easily, and without surgery or pain medication. While he can help you with your back and neck pain, Dr. Troy
I don't call
also
people
provides
names.
treatment for the hips,
When,
the
you know, I
shoulders,
don't call
the
people
knees.
names or use
If you're in a
profanity
car
like that. You
accident,
shouldn't
any
either.
type of injury or slip and fall, the pain won't go away. Well, you want to
Wow.
get back to your old self, you want to call Dr. Troy. His number 954-463-3036. That's 954-463-3036. Online at drtroylemaskey.com. Tell him that Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on
You're calling someone a name. It's not nice. I
Search
wouldn't
for
do that.
www.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Dr. Troy Lemaskey. Oh man, I tell you, he's located in Fort Lauderdale, near the intersection of Oakland Park Boulevard and US 1 Federal Highway. Very easy, quick, convenient drive, pretty much from wherever you are in South Florida. I got there in about 20 minutes from Boca. And by the way, at a high traffic time of day, just right down Federal Highway, right there. In fact, he's just east of US 1 on the south side of Oakland Park Boulevard, and he does incredible work. And I'm telling you, if you have any type of joint pain, back pain, neck pain, knee pain, any type of joint pain, and you don't treat it, it doesn't go away. It only gets worse. And Dr. Troy can help you. All right? Give him a call. And you know what? Weekend appointments are available. Ask about that when you call. 954-463-3036. 954-463-3036. For Dr. Troy Lemaskey, the brother of Dr. Janae Lemaskey. Listen at SteveKaneShow.com. That joint pain, it's bad. I've been there. I've had back issues. And I know a lot of you have had joint pains as well, knee pains, elbow pains. Call Dr. Troy. 954-463-3036. Don't use pain medications. That only masks the symptoms, and then you have a whole host of other issues. All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning. You are on the radio.
This is Mike.
Hey, Mike.
You're looking at this whole situation, and this all goes back to a poor decision, poor foreign policy decision, another poor foreign policy decision by the Democrats. Jimmy Carter did not support the Shah of Iran. He supported getting rid of the Shah of Iran. And that's what gave us this situation.
Yeah, that's right. And, this embassy attack, no loss of life in this embassy attack because of Republicans. If Democrats had their way, if the left had their way, that U.S. embassy in Iraq, it would have been a terrible attack, because I was talking a little bit about this yesterday. When construction was being proposed on this embassy, the left tried to stop it, because this embassy we have there is the largest and most fortified embassy we have ever built. And the left tried to stop it from being built to that. Not for us to have an embassy. They didn't want this embassy built that was so well fortified. And it was built that, George Bush made a lot of mistakes, but one thing he got right was this embassy in Iraq. And there was zero loss of life because of George Bush and Republicans going against the left to build an embassy that was designed to withstand attacks.
Right. And look, this guy is was their main guy, was their big honcho in their military. That was he was in charge of sending people to Lebanon, sending monies and materials to Lebanon and all these other places where they were fighting proxies against guess who?
Yeah, Iran, and here you got this. Think about it. Here's this guy. He was taken out in Iraq. He is behind an attack on the U.S. embassy, and he's not even in hiding. He's just out in Iraq, wandering around like he's like he owns the place. Because that's how Iran thought the United States was, that we wouldn't respond. And we in fact, they were fearless. They didn't even consider there would be a U.S. response. If they thought there'd be a U.S. response, he wouldn't have been moving inside of Iraq so openly and freely.
sure. And look, this was a guy that, of course, he's going to be against us getting out of that deal, the Iran deal, which was another poor foreign policy decision. But again, we got out of the Iran deal, which hurt them money-wise. You know, it's a big deal that this whole.
And here we are, here we are several days into this incident from the attack on our embassy. I still haven't heard from John Kerry, who is supposed to have this great relationship with the Iranians. I'm surprised. Have any of you seen John Kerry even on television talking about this? It's interesting. Where is John Kerry? He's the one that's all buddy-buddy with the Iranians.
We haven't heard from Mrs. Clinton yet, who is now the provost or wherever it is at that college.
Yeah, Northern Ireland.
You know, in Ireland. So we haven't heard from, because this was her main deal. The Iran deal was her main deal. One of her main deals as well. You know, so this is a thing that basically led to this guy getting killed.
Yeah.
The fact that we got out of that poor deal, you know, which we should never have gotten into in the first.
I mean, it's absolutely amazing when you hear these leftist pundits and politicians give their opinion on what happened, and they're upset at Trump. They're not upset at the general for orchestrating terror attacks. They'll say, "Oh yeah, he killed thousands of people, you know, but we should have let him live." What are they suggesting?
And what's next? I mean, we know there's going to be some sort of retaliation or whatever.
Probably.
But what can they do? I mean, we've stepped up our guarding of the embassy.
Well, they can do a lot. They have, you know, the Iranians have terror cells worldwide. They can. There's no way to predict their response. They could respond anywhere in the world, from Iraq to America. There's no way to know. But I'll tell you, if they respond, and there's any loss of life, especially civilian, they're done. Because whatever Trump, and I think Trump's response will be within hours, because Trump has already got the response to their response planned and okayed and ready to, all they need is the go order. I promise you. So whatever his response is, it's going to be massive and it's going to be fast.
Right, and that's the thing. And think about this. When about a year ago, whatever it was, when Iran was really getting going, or it was in the midst of getting going, and this guy was probably in Iraq back then, and we were talking about, well, because of Iran, we're seeing people like Israel and Egypt and the Saudis and all these people coming together just because of Iran.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. All right. Appreciate the call, Mike. Take care. Mike in Louisiana. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It will not take them long on the left to start to make the claim that this is a wag the dog moment. President Trump doesn't wag the dog. He doesn't have to wag the dog. Now, in the next hour, we'll get into some more issues on that. Yeah, but the left are always against America and Americans defending themselves, even in the aftermath of this church shooting. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, sorry, guys. The air conditioning is a little colder than it's normally set to in the mornings, and I'm getting a draft from the air vent over my head in the microphone, and it keeps making me sneeze and cough. Oh, I'm doing my best. I'm going to go turn up the air, I think. Oh, it just popped off, so maybe I'll be okay. Or I need to move the vents again. All right, so we'll take our break for the top of the hour. When we get back, there's much more to talk about. Your calls are certainly welcome at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. America was attacked at our embassy, and the left are upset that we responded when we were attacked. Not surprised. I mean, this is how they always are. We'll take our top of the hour break. We'll continue with this. We are live back. It's our second show of 2020. Oh, my goodness. Just a couple days into the new decade, and boom, there may be another war. 1-888 go Kane 1-888-465-2631. 1 hour down, 2 to go. We'll be right back.
5.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities.
Fruit,
I needed
what are you
a crown
talking about?
on top and
Fruit,
a
no,
crown
there's
on
no
the bottom.
fruit.
If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com.
Eating dried peaches.
And tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever.
For a limited time, go to MyPillow.com, and Mike will give you 2 MyPillow premium pillows for one low price. And you will also receive free shipping when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, or call 1-800-716-4879 and give them promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and receive 2 MyPillow premium pillows for one low price. Again, use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com or 1-800-716-4879 for this fantastic offer.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
For the best wings in this town, it's Wings Plus. Wings that are first grilled and then fried to make them extra crispy, served with blue cheese and celery. Try the Jamaican jerk, the lemon pepper wings, the honey mustard wings, the garlic wings, and 15 other varieties. That's Wings Plus, located at 9880 Sample Road in Coral Springs, where the politically elite meet.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. To call the show.
Yes. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And here we are in the year 2020 and still going strong. Thanks to all of you in the listening audience. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Oh, man. And, with our new station lineup, we're now live on 4 radio stations. We used to be live on 2 radio stations. Now we are live on 4. And I know. And some people wonder, why aren't you saying how many times you... I haven't added it up yet. We are airing so many times now over the weekend. I've not added... I got to do the math. I did it quickly this morning, but I think I got to double check my numbers. But we're airing more than 33 times over the weekend now. But we now air live on 3 FM radio stations and, of course, our AM station. And we are live, our AM station, AM 1470, Our FM stations are 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, and 103.9 FM. We are live on all of those radio stations, live in Morning Drive, from 6 until 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, with overnight rebroadcast midnight till 6 a.m. on all 4 of those stations. And you can also listen to us online at stevekaneshow.com and on the iHeartRadio app and the TuneIn app, searching for us by our station call letters WWNN. Oh man, so I gotta add up. I did some math today, but I just want to double check it. We are now airing more than 33 times over the weekend. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy, I know. Steve Kane Show is on so much. And thank you all for tuning in. All right, so the United States was attacked at our embassy by Iran. The president has responded, and shocker, the left don't want us to respond. You know, they've got now that the Congress is coming back, Nancy Pelosi has to decide what to do with these articles of impeachment. So what is she going to do now? We are in a military situation right now. That is, we don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't know what today brings in it. There could be an ongoing military conflict. I haven't heard anyone say that Iran will not respond. So if Iran responds, we've got to respond again with even a larger response than this time. Lindsey Graham's talking about oil refineries, which would be a devastating blow. I mean, they're broke over there in Iran, according to all reports. They're saying they can't even provide basic services to their people. So you start taking out their oil refineries and oil wells, oh man. You know, they're like paycheck to paycheck kind of country with their oil. Devastating blow. So here we are involved in an unknown military future that could end up in a pretty hot back and forth here, at least for a time, between the United States and Iran. So what do the Democrats do? What does Nancy Pelosi do? Do they now, while we're involved in a military situation, a military conflict, which we're in right now, we are in a military conflict with Iran right now. Will Nancy Pelosi send the articles of impeachment triggering a trial of the president while we're involved in a military conflict? If we are involved in a military conflict, should McConnell even have the trial? Is it appropriate? I mean, this is an important question to be asked. You know, this is not a wag the dog. We were attacked. The president had to respond. Pretty restrained response, but he responded. If they would have transmitted the articles of impeachment when they first had the vote, you wouldn't be able to call it wag the dog. The trial, he would have been acquitted probably already. So the Democrats are in a very, very interesting situation here. What do you... Will Nancy Pelosi use this as a time to get control of her party and stop this impeachment? Or will they push ahead with the impeachment while we're involved in a military conflict? 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You know, and there was a story yesterday. Let me pull this up. This is from CNN. This one is just comical. Now, this is before we had our response. New Ukraine revelations turn up heat on Senate trial showdown. Well, Nancy still got to send those articles of impeachment over. Now, this is what CNN writes, okay? New evidence showing Donald Trump's direct role in pressuring Ukraine for political favors is dialing up the heat as Republicans launch their New Year push to shield the president in a swift Senate impeachment trial. Trump's top Senate protector, this is CNN's news story, Trump's top Senate protector, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, is expected to attempt to define the next phase of the drama Friday morning with his floor speech. It was not clear whether the aftermath of the U.S. strike to kill Soleimani's top military intelligence and officer in Iraq would change plans on Capitol Hill. The attack has the potential to scramble political calculations in Washington in addition to its huge global implications. Whenever McConnell plays his next card, he's expected to push back on demands by Democrats. It goes on. Documents reviewed by Just Security, which is a website, show that top White House budget officials made clear the order to halt $400 million in aid came directly from the president. And they go on about that. Well, did President Trump say it? Is it an email from the president? Is his signature on anything? You know, a lot of these people in Washington that are involved in these types of things, holding up things, and there's an email or a letter or a phone conversation, there's two possibilities with these people. Trump didn't order anything. No quid pro quo. He's been saying it for months. I trust Trump. We saw the transcript of the call. People, though, in Washington are not honorable people, as we've seen with the FISA spying on Trump Tower. The people that work inside this government have no problem with setting this president up. They've been trying to do it since he came down the escalator. They've been trying to do it since he was president-elect. They continue to do it all the time. So just because some email from someone is talking about this, that's not Trump. And there also, with some of these people, could be a bit of guesswork on their part, anticipating what the president would want and taking actions or preparation for what they anticipate the president might tell them. And a lot of these things aren't actually stopping anything so far as funding to Ukraine. Sometimes it can be them just having a plan to do so if it's ordered. None of this is evidence of anything. But you know what? So what? I was not aware that Ukraine was entitled just to get money without any conditions from us. If Trump delayed sending money to Ukraine, so what? You know, the media and the Democrats are acting as if foreign aid is some type of entitlement program like food stamps or something. As if the Ukraine is entitled to it without any condition. Oh, take all this money and do with whatever you want. We don't care who gets it or what you do with it or anything. Foreign aid is not an entitlement program. And this story, the version I just read was updated after the attack. Okay? But when the story first came out, it was before this response by Trump against Iran. And they were trying to get this narrative going to try to derail McConnell's speech. There is not the impeachment of Bill Clinton was a political conspiracy. Hillary Clinton isn't right about much, but she was right about that. There was a conservative conspiracy against her husband, and it led to his impeachment. Impeachments are always political. Always political. Okay? Now, a big difference between Bill Clinton and this one is that Bill Clinton was actually doing things that were wrong. He was being accused of assault. He was accused of even rape. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man, I tell you. You know, the media in this country, you know, if you go to, like, say, the CNN website, sometimes you'll read articles there that are editorials, and they'll tell you, editorial. The disclaimer should be when something is actually news. Because even in the aftermath of everything that's going on in the last few hours with this response to the U.S. Embassy being attacked, have you really heard much news about it? When I turn on the media, I hear them say the fact that there was a response and what it was and who we took out and who they were, and then it's followed by nothing but opinion. Now, they call it analysis, not opinion. You know. But the news, you know, the news media have one purpose and one purpose only, the mainstream media, and that is to drive public opinion in a particular direction. And the direction that they want to push us into now is to attack anything President Trump does. And what they're very upset with Iran, the left. And the mainstream media are very upset with Iran. Why do you think they're upset with Iran, the media and the Democrats? Why do you think? What has them upset at Iran? It's pretty simple. You know what it is? They're upset at Iran because, well, they're interfering with their impeachment scam. Because let me tell you something. You know, if there is an escalating military action between the United States and Iran, which is likely, and they continue to push this impeachment coup, we're in completely new territory in the United States. Completely new territory where they're undermining the President of the United States in time of military conflict. We'll take our break. It's 15 minutes after 7. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. We're going to hear from some of the presidential wannabes when we get back. They call them candidates. 888-465-2631. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all, and our skin bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this for you than Dr. Jose Mendez. Dr. Mendez is a board-certified dermatologist, and when it comes to caring for your skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible and skin cancer-free, you want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual skin cancer exam is covered by Medicare. Dr. Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve Kane recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve is good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah. She takes extra good care of Steve Kane listeners and will get you an appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681.
This is Steve Kane. When it comes to looking your best, sometimes you need a little extra help. Dr. Nathan at the Nathan Clinic is a renowned plastic surgeon here in South Florida who will bring out your most beautiful self. Dr. Nathan, highly skilled, knows how to reveal your inner beauty and make you look your absolute best. He's a board-certified plastic surgeon. People come from miles around just because of his extraordinary skills and his caring bedside manner. Dr. Nathan performs breast augmentations, facelifts, Botox, tummy tucks, liposuction, and much, much more. Visit his website. Read the testimonials from his patients. They love Dr. Nathan, and you will too. He has years of experience and impressive credentials that make Dr. Nathan the only plastic surgeon you need visit. He'll advise you and tell you the best course of action so that you will always remain true to who you are. You can contact Dr. Nathan for a no-charge consultation by calling 305 area code 680-5121. That's area code 305-680-5121 or online at drnathan.com. Tell him you heard it on the Steve Kane Show.
Are you looking to sell your house or buy your dream home? Then call LaBella Real Estate. LaBella Real Estate love President Trump, and like Donald Trump, LaBella Real Estate want to get you the highest dollar amount when selling your home. And when looking for a new home, LaBella Real Estate will find you the best deal. LaBella Real Estate have over 20 years of experience in real estate and mortgages, and they are very knowledgeable about the South Florida real estate market. If it's a condo, single-family home, a luxury home, LaBella Real Estate can help. Buying or selling, call LaBella Real Estate at 561-445-7023. 561-445-7023. And online, LaBellaRealEstateLLC.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's Friday, the first Friday of the new decade. I know a lot of you, your body clocks are still off. Mine is too. Monday will be the back to normal day, I think, with this New Year's in the middle of the week. We're talking, of course, about President Trump's incredible defense of the United States attack on our embassy. Of course, the left upset about this. All the Obama officials are on TV condemning it. Oh, man. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. It's Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff, what's up?
Hey, did you realize the precision of that takeout of that Iranian terrorist? And there was no collateral damage. Do you realize that must have been so precise and well thought out?
There was no other loss of life other than the target. There had to be some other people. Steve Kane
Well,
show.
then what? You would think the news would be blowing it out of proportion. Oh, all these innocent people were killed.
You're talking about innocent civilians. No, it was precise. Now, what do you think's going to happen next, though? I mean, everyone's saying there'll be an Iranian response. You assume that's true, or will the Iranians be a little nervous?
That they're going to try something, but I don't believe that they're going to try something big enough to warrant what would happen if they pushed the U.S. and this president.
Well, hold on a second. I mean, the attack on attacking the embassy was pretty rough, but there was no loss of life. So the response that the president gave, which great response, perfect response, but that was with zero loss of life. So if the Iranians have a response that results in any loss of life, even one life, it's going to, I would imagine, a massive response by President Trump.
I think it'll be proportionate. In other words, if there was, a handful, a two handful, or if they, God forbid, they kill 20, 30, 40.
Oh, my goodness.
I think it'll be proportionate. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think so. I think Trump, this attack, while you and I consider it to be, our response to the attack, you and I would consider to be proportionate, taking out this terror leader general. But if you listen to the left, it was out of proportion. They're calling it an assassination of a senior government official, which is borderline. What the left are doing now is about to call it an illegal attack because Congress wasn't notified and it was a targeted assassination, and assassination is against U.S. law and policy. They're starting to already call this an assassination, not a response.
How can President Trump let Congress know, knowing there's still Muslim plants in our government that would tip off anything he tries to do?
Well, listen, yeah, he didn't tell Congress when he took out the head of ISIS either because he was afraid they would leak it out and tip them off. Well, they're always... Congress has... Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats have somehow convinced themselves that they are equal to the president. They are not. They are not. He has powers and authorities that have nothing to do with them, including this. And this idea that he should inform... If he informed them, he could have informed them, but what their response would be to him is meaningless. He could still carry it out. There's no need to inform them. Informing them would only possibly mess up the operation. I mean, I would not trust these Democrats who are doing what they've done to him with this phony coup impeachment to keep it secret from the press. How long do you think it would take them to start telling their media sources? These senior Democrats have been leaking out of every committee hearing like you've never seen before.
By them leaking anything out would put American soldiers' lives at risk. Can you imagine? That is treason.
Well, when you look at... Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, so now what happens? Because chances are there's going to be an escalated situation between the United States and Iran. And anytime something escalates like this, it's not going to be over quickly. So while we're involved in a unknown military future, what do the Democrats do? Does Nancy send the impeachment articles over to the Senate to trigger a trial while we're involved in a military operation? What do you think happens now?
I think Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats know if they submit those papers to Congress, they're going to dismiss them because of lack.
Yeah, but while we're involved in when we have an unknown military future, are they going to continue with their impeachment coup, or are they going to hold off on it, the Democrats?
I think they're going to go through it because they are hoping this and their impeachment and this problem with Iran will turn people against Trump. Everything they do is trying to turn people away from Trump, and it's just making us more emboldened with him.
Well, there has been a long history of when there's military conflict going on, an ongoing military conflict, that politics stop. And if the Democrats continue with their impeachment coup, while there is this unknown conflict, an unknown future militarily, this would be all new territory.
I think they'll go through with the impeachment anyway, and it's going to turn more people against the Democrat Party.
Yeah.
Hell-bent on one thing, to remove Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Can't beat him at the polls.
Well, Pelosi, as bad as Pelosi is, there is one thing that I've seen her do. She travels abroad a lot. It seems like every other week she's in another country somewhere. And anytime she's on foreign soil and she's asked about a question involving impeachment or something critical of Trump, she always refuses to answer and says she won't get involved in discussions like that on foreign soil, which is a long tradition of honor that politicians have had. You know, it's what destroyed the Dixie Chicks, right, when they were over in England bashing President Bush during the Iraq War. So Nancy Pelosi has a little bit of sense and a little bit of honor when it comes to that. If they push through an impeachment, while there's a military conflict going on with Iran that's not resolved, not only will we be in new territory, they're going to do themselves incredibly a lot more damage, because right now they're going to be men and women deployed soon. They don't care. They're just, yeah. You know, I got to tell you, Jeff, you're right. They don't care. You know, they don't recognize Donald Trump as the president. They don't. Yeah. They just don't. They don't believe he's the no. You know, it's, you know, a lot of it has to do. It's a you know, some people, the birth certificate issue with Barack Obama, which was first raised by the Hillary Clinton campaign before anyone else, was questioning the legitimacy of President Obama. And there were people that jumped on that bandwagon, not many. Asking about the birth certificate isn't the same as saying he was not the legitimate president. But because Donald Trump was not picked by the establishment and the donors, they will never accept his presidency. And you're right, that is the root of everything with the Democrats involving Donald Trump. They hate the voters. The elections are supposed to be formalities when we choose the chosen candidate. They give us two people that the establishment has decided are the nominees, and we get to choose between the people they've chosen. And Donald Trump took down the entire establishment of the Republican Party, one candidate at a time. He was in first place, center stage at every debate, and boom. And then he took out the Democrat establishment too. And since he wasn't picked by the establishment to be the nominee, they do not recognize him as president of the United States. And you're right, that's the root of it all. All right, Jeff in Maine, thanks for your call. All right. Good morning, you're on the radio. Hey, Greg, too, what's going on?
Listen, I think you're taking the wrong take on this. I think that this is going to give Nancy Pelosi the excuse she's been looking for. She didn't want to go through impeachment. She sees Trump's numbers going up in the polls, and people are galvanized by him. So this is going to give her the opportunity to say, listen, we can't go through the impeachment. She didn't file them right away. So now she goes, well, there's an excuse not to, correct?
Oh, okay. This is good. You should be a radio talk show host, Greg, too, because you come up with interesting and unique perspectives and questions. So you think that what's going on right now with the military conflict with Iran gives Nancy Pelosi her out of the impeachment that's about to destroy her party?
Time of military conflict of any type, Trump's numbers are going to increase. If he handles this appropriately, people will rally around Trump even more. So this is going to get. She didn't want to go through this impeachment. She was just forced by that rep.
This is great. That's an interesting take, and I got to say, I think you could be correct. So what does Nancy? She can't throw out the vote. They made the vote, so she just lets it sit there and never transmits it to the Senate.
This conflict expires, or and who knows how long it could go.
Well, we've been in a conflict. We have been in a conflict with Iran for 41 years, since 1979. So I don't think it's going anywhere.
I agree, but this thing raised it to a level when you attack our embassy, even though no one was, killed, they still did an act of war against us. Trump's handling it perfectly. He's got our troops over there protecting the embassy. But I think Nancy Pelosi's actually signed it. Now she goes, now I have an excuse. She'll give a speech. We need to rally as, the United States and,
So this is interesting. So you think you believe Nancy Pelosi would like an escalation of the conflict to give her, now that's an interesting thing. If what you were saying is true, there'll be no impeachment trial. So if there's no impeachment trial, if there's, the impeachment trial we've all thought would be very good for us and help us retake the House of Representatives. So if Nancy behaves like a decent human being and doesn't transmit the articles of impeachment, there's no trial. Do we still take back the House?
That's going to be a close call. It's going to be a close call because now the Blue Dog Democrats are going to have like a rallying point too with their constituency and, support Trump and his efforts against Iran. It's going to be interesting. I don't know. That's a very good question.
Yeah.
These impeachment articles are going to be suspended. He's got an excuse, a reason as to why, which is a valid one. And like you said, at least she showed some respect. She doesn't badmouth Trump overseas. She doesn't,
She won't. She refuses to do it. She refuses to do it.
And I'll give her a little credit for that.
Yeah. I'd still like her to clean up the feces off the sidewalks and hypodermic needles off the sidewalks of San Francisco.
Have you ever been to San Francisco?
I have never been, no. Believe it or not. I've been to California, but never made it to San Francisco. I've never made it to San Francisco in my travels to California. Yeah. Hey, I had a friend from high school that moved to San Francisco to come out of the closet. Well, listen, this conflict with Iran, you got to always remember, President Trump has always been anti-war his whole life. So the last thing President Trump wants is another war in the Middle East. Trump's idea is to get this over with as soon as possible. It's up to Iran what happens.
You recall during the campaign where people go, Trump is a war hawk. He's going to get it.
No.
But he's going to be like, by the way, Ronald Reagan also did the same thing Donald Trump did. That he took out, remember Muammar Gaddafi? Because he's no longer...
Well, but Gaddafi was blowing things up all over the place, and he had a military strike against Gaddafi, and we didn't hear from him until Obama went in. Yeah. But it's big... His daughter, Gaddafi's daughter was killed, and we bombed his house, one of his houses, and his daughter was killed in the attack. It was 87.
Every year, you never heard from him again as far as terrorist attacks. So this is what Donald Trump has done.
Mm-hmm. All right, Greg. Appreciate the call. And you bring up, well, thank you. Have a great weekend. Greg, too, brings up a very great point. He thinks that Nancy Pelosi is happy with what's going on, that it gives her the out that she wants from pushing the impeachment any further. 1-888-GO. Can we guys agree with that? Nancy Pelosi wants out of the impeachment, and this is going to give her the out. 1-888-GO. Kane 1. That's Kane with a K, K-A-N-E, and the number 1-888-465-2631. We'll take our break and be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Have you been trying to lose weight without success? Steve Kane listener PJ has been struggling. That is, was struggling until he went to Save-A-Lot and started taking their supplement, Crave Stop. He called on the air and shared his 54-pound weight loss journey, thanks to Crave Stop. Listen to PJ's call live on the air.
How long have you been taking Crave Stop?
Okay, here. The first one, I started trying to lose weight starting May 27th. And from May 27th until July 2nd, I lost only about 5 pounds. You know why? Because I had carb cravings. I kept sneaking crack or sneaking this, sneaking that, whatever. So I got the Crave Stop. I wanted just an appetite suppressant, and I went there because I heard you started advertising on the radio. So they said, "Oh, here, try this Crave Stop." So I thought of it as strictly an appetite suppressant. So I tried it, but then I noticed I wasn't sneaking any carbs. What it was is it's completely suppressed any cravings for carbs. I haven't purposely tried to sneak any carbs since I started, and immediately I started losing a lot more weight.
So you started Crave Stop when?
July 3rd.
In 3 months since you started
That's
Crave
my wife
Stop,
texting
how
me.
much weight have you lost?
From July 3rd, when I started, until August 17th, I dropped 26 pounds. Then from August 17th until last Friday, the 28th, I dropped another 23 pounds.
Oh my gosh, so you're approaching a 50-pound weight loss.
No, approaching. I'm over it. I dropped a total of 54 pounds. I got 46 pounds to go. I've got to drop. I want to
Oh,
drop
you're more
down
than
to
halfway
220
there.
so I can go on the Steve Kane Show cruise. Because my wife told me I have to lose 100 pounds. I was wearing a shirt that my mother gave me early in the year, and she got really, really disgusted with me because it was 2X and it wouldn't fit. So now it fits very easily, no problem.
Wow, that's an amazing story. You can lose weight too. Stop by Save-A-Lot. They're located in Margate, just south of Sample Road, on the west side of State Road 7 in the Penn Dutch Shopping Center, or call 754-307-1655. No matter where you are, local in South Florida, outside of South Florida, or even outside of Florida, Save-A-Lot will ship to you. 754-307-1655. Make sure to mention the Steve Kane Show and ask for Crave Stop. 754-307-1655.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, and Save-A-Lot is actually offering an incredible special for the new year. Now, Save-A-Lot, this is both for people that stop in person and people that do mail order from out of town, or even if you're in South Florida and you can't make it in. 15% off all items at Save-A-Lot. 15% off their already discounted prices. It's their New Year's special. Take advantage of it. Steve and I were in Save-A-Lot just yesterday, loading up on our supplements, and I got my cholesterol reducing supplement, and I got it. It was $15. Okay, that same supplement at Barry's Vitamins I used to pay $50 for. And just $15 at Save-A-Lot. And you'll find similar savings on all of their supplements. So those of you that need to reload up on your supplement supply, now's the time to do it because of this huge sale for the new year that is going on at Save-A-Lot. Again, it's the New Year sale, 15% off their already discounted prices. Which it blew me away when I was there yesterday. As soon as Al Foreman told me that, I was out there getting my supplement. So, of course, Save-A-Lot is located in Margate, just south of Sample Road, on the west side of 441 State Road 7 in that Penn Dutch Plaza. Okay, and you can give them a call because you can take advantage of the 15% New Year's special with online and phone orders as well. 754-307-1655. 754-307-1655. Oh, man, I tell you. So let me get to some of this audio. And, you know, the left, of course, they're all attacking the president. The United States, we are supposed to not respond when we get attacked by Iran, apparently. Iran attacks our embassy, we're not supposed to respond. But, you know, the Democrats are always against response. That horrible church shooting in Texas that resulted in loss of life, but not nearly as much as was planned by the sicko shooter because the retired FBI agent with his concealed weapons permit stopped him in his tracks. And you know what? If he wasn't there, somebody else would have too, because it was a church filled with concealed weapon permit holders. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. And by the way, I got some messages over the New Year's holiday from someone who does advanced concealed weapon permit training. And if you're out there listening, we've got to connect. I'm talking about some serious advanced concealed weapon permit training that I am very much looking forward to taking part in. Elizabeth Warren on the campaign trail yesterday was asked by someone in attendance in the aftermath of the shooting, okay, how she feels about concealed weapon permit holders with a national registry, a national background check and registry to have a concealed weapon permit. Listen to this. This is Elizabeth Warren just yesterday.
Senator Steve from Plymouth.
Nice to see you, Steve. Good to see you.
Last week there was another church shooting, and the only thing that saved the rest of the congregation were the other two people who shot and took out the shooter. Would you support a universal concealed carry law for everyone in the country who's willing to be licensed and checked by the government?
Now she's going to go into the church. Listen. No.
And actually, let me just say two more things about the data, because I think they're important, and I appreciate that you asked this question. The first part is, I say that the reason those people were injured was because somebody came into that church with a gun.
By the way, the people weren't injured. They were killed. There were two people murdered by that animal with a shotgun. And by the way, a shotgun, which this guy used, is not on any of the gun control activists' list of guns that they want to take away. But notice how she says injured. They were killed, Elizabeth Warren.
And actually, let me just say two more things about the data, because I think they're important, and I appreciate that you asked this question. The first part is, I say that the reason those people were injured was because somebody came into that church with a gun. And that's how it is that people got hurt in the first place. The second thing is, I don't think there's any data to suggest that universal concealed carry makes any of us any safer.
She sees no data that shows that concealed carry makes us any safer. You have a guy who walks into a church to commit a mass shooting. He murders two guys, and he's stopped, literally dead in his tracks, from killing everybody in the church because of a guy with a concealed weapon permit. And there were four guys, at least, that were ready to back him up. So what she really means is, other than the examples that we're seeing on TV, I have never seen, with this church shooting, I have never seen concealed weapon permit holders in such high definition and clarity move in to defend unarmed civilians and themselves. And that church shooting where the guy was stopped, that may be, it could just be, I might, if you have another example, let me know. The Texas church shooting may be the first time that we've had video, clear high-definition video in full light, because the church service was being live-streamed in HD, of a mass shooting being stopped by concealed weapon permit holders. And notice, it's not by the police. Police are after the fact. The police aren't there when things happen. Something happens, and people call the police, and they respond, and there's a response time, and when they get there, they got to figure out what to do and where to go. That all takes time, and the concealed weapon permit holders in the church, they're there. And I'll tell you, those concealed weapon permit holders not only saved God only knows how many lives inside that church, because that was going to be a mass shooting site, and it wasn't. Two were sadly murdered, but it would have been many more in the plans of the shooter. He was stopped, right? There will be other shooters who won't do something like that because they won't want to. See, they think that when people go to church, they're not armed. And maybe some churches there are no guns being carried by concealed weapon permit holders, but you don't know. See, a lot of times, sometimes people are like, well, we should have open carry. And I wouldn't mind open carry. Concealed carry can be a little inconvenient to conceal the weapon, especially in the hot Florida weather. But you know, concealed carry is a much bigger deterrent than open carry because in concealed carry, you never know who's carrying. So in a concealed carry state like Texas or Florida, where we have so many concealed weapon permit holders, since the weapons are concealed by permit holders, when you go somewhere, you don't know who is armed and who is not, and you just, in my case, you assume that people are armed. See? And for Elizabeth Warren to say that there's no data that shows that concealed weapons save people, it saved a church filled with people in Texas just the other day, just Sunday. So I don't know what the hell she's talking about. And this fits into what's going on with Iran right now. Elizabeth Warren is upset that President Trump responded when America was attacked. Our embassy being attacked is us being attacked. The U.S. embassy is U.S. soil. It's U.S. territory. The U.S. was attacked. She's against us responding. She's also against people responding to an attempted mass shooter. She's upset that they have, she's against those guys having concealed weapon permits that saved an entire congregation. And when you watch that video, you really see how defenseless people are. Because what happened? People started laying down on the floor and they started laying down on the benches of the pews. There's no protection there. There was no protection. The only protection were the concealed weapon permit holders. And to have an example that we've all seen, it's, you know, she says there's no evidence of this. The data doesn't show. Don't believe your lying eyes, is what Elizabeth Warren is saying. All right, it's 46 minutes after 7. We'll take our last break of the second hour. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
With diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's TheSole authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Hey guys, Brian here. Are you 30 years of age or older? If you are, you have low T. That's low testosterone. Don't worry, nothing's wrong with you. We all have low T. It's part of the aging process. That's why you get more tired than you used to. You want to take naps. The heat bothers you more than it did. And your sex life, well, I don't have to tell you about that, do I? Life doesn't have to be that way.
Make sure you guys all subscribe.
Anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at 561-953-5490. Talk to him about hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy therapy will give you your energy back. You're gonna feel better. You're gonna be more productive. And your sex life and sex drive will be back like it was when you were 25. It's a free consultation with Dr. Matez, but you have to tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. Online, hormonetherapybocaratone.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patent and fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever.
For a limited time, go to MyPillow.com, and Mike will give you 2 MyPillow premium pillows for one low price. And you will also receive free shipping when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, or call 1-800-716-4879 and give them promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and receive 2 MyPillow premium pillows for one low price. Again, use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com or 1-800-716-4879 for this fantastic offer.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right, welcome back. And there is an incredible, that's an incredible special at MyPillow.com. Use the promo code KANE. Virtually every MyPillow product is on special when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. But if you go to SteveKaneShow.com, I bought some body pillows as Christmas presents. The MyPillow body pillows are spectacular. And my wife and I, we made a video at home showing the MyPillow body pillow. So go to SteveKaneShow.com. When you use the promo code KANE at checkout, now the normal price on the body pillow is $89.99. But when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, just $29.99. Again, the regular price, $89.99. But when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, just $29.99 at MyPillow.com. Go to SteveKaneShow.com and I'll show you the body pillow. And then you can go and buy it. All right, let's go to Richie. Richie, the bus driver, you're on the air.
Yeah, Brian, Al should get the body pillows because he does have a woman. A good substitute for Al with John, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to throw something at you. You know I'm a hawk, and you know I've always said go after Iran, kill the head of the dragon. I'm so proud of this president. The Democrats, okay, we're criticizing him for his Middle East policy all this time. They're saying it's erratic, it's awful, or he's leaving Syria. But in other words, he can't win. If he doesn't do anything to respond to the attack on the embassy, they cut him down for this. So then when he responds, they attack him for that. I mean, from what I understand, the first words he was told about this embassy under siege, he said, how fast can we get soldiers there to protect our people? This is not going to be a Benghazi. This was reported already. And so decisive. This is what we need here, man. This was not...
No. This is not, in Iraq, we were not attacked. That was preemptive, okay? This is a response to when we were attacked. And I think it was a pretty mild response, taking out one guy like that, although he's the head of the... But you can already tell when you listen to the left, Richie, they're saying, well, wait a minute, this was an assassination of a senior Iraqi leader. Right?
Iraqi leader was responsible...
I'm sorry, Iranian leader. I missed, but not Iraqi, Iranian leader, yeah.
Yeah, this Iranian, leader was responsible in the Iraq War for over 600 maimed and soldiers that have died. And
yeah.
He was the one that would put those rockets into
That's right.
IODs, you know. So the bottom line is soldiers were getting killed. This guy's responsible, and he was stirring up the pot over there. What was he doing in the airport over there?
I mean, this is what you got to think about this guy, Soleimani. is here he is behind a attack on the U.S. Embassy, and he's still strolling around Baghdad like he owns the place, like he's the new Saddam Hussein. He wasn't even fearful of a U.S. response because there's never been one before, or he would have been in some bunker in Iran.
No, you're right. The president that we had prior to this wonderful president gave them money to attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the situation room in Benghazi, they made excuses for 2 or 3 weeks of why they didn't help.
Well, do you agree, though? Do you agree? Greg, too, called in earlier, and he said that this is Nancy Pelosi's out, that he doesn't think she'll send the impeachment articles over to the Senate, and she'll use this military incident as an excuse to not send them to the Senate, that she doesn't want to have the trial.
It all depends. This is where this whole impeachment goes down the toilet. If Iraq responds to this response,
If Iran responds,
the president reacts to that, that will be the end of impeachment.
well, of course they're going to respond. The Iranians are going to respond. They got to save face. So, and then when they respond, we've got to respond. It's just it's a cycle. So you think so this is interesting. So you hold on, slow down. So you think impeachment's done now? You think if Iraq, I keep saying Iraq, if Iran responds, impeachment is off the table and done. You say it's over.
It's over until the conflict is over.
Well, we've been in a conflict for 41 years with Iran.
Just lose interest in 5 minutes.
Well,
6 months ago.
and Lindsey Graham is suggesting that it's going to be oil refineries will be our response to their response. Now that Donald Trump has made the United States the largest producer and exporter of oil in the world, look at how that helps the U.S. economy, right? If the Iranian oil is shut off, which is what Lindsey Graham's talking about, that makes our oil more valuable and more in demand.
My idea, if I'm in the head of the Iranian leadership right now, I don't respond to the United States because that would be suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Israel, okay? Because they've made Israel the bad boy of the Middle East, and then they can use their propaganda.
Okay. So you think Iran's response will be an attack on Israelis? Oh my goodness. That would be a huge mistake.
See, the United States is protecting Israel, this is...
Mm-hmm. Well, on Twitter, the trending hashtag on the U.S. Now, keep in mind that the hashtag is about our response to us being attacked at our embassy is hashtag World War III. So, that's what they're. Well, we got to respond. They're our ally, and the Israelis are going to respond.
Propaganda machine, because they're not going to hit us directly.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. I agree with you that I would say Israel is on high alert right now. I'm sure there's no question. Yeah, we can probably. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the Israelis have wanted to have huge strikes against the Iranians for years now that they've not been able to do. So Iran is going to give them what they want.
Yeah, what would happen right now if the Iranians had a nuclear bomb? These crazy people. You tell me.
Oh my goodness. I know. Yeah, I hear some of these pundits. They're suggesting that Trump's response might be a nuclear. They're trying to make Trump look like an out of control lunatic. I think his response, very good, took out the head of the snake there, but it was still mild. It was targeting one person.
I got to tell you something. Nothing this man, like you said, if he cured cancer tomorrow, they blame him for something. I mean, I am so proud of this president. To me, he couldn't have done anything.
Well, see, his responses are real responses because if you listen to, all the pundits that give analysis, most of them are from the Obama regime, but they're all former security advisors, State Department officials, military, and all of them have agreed that this was a bad idea. If you watch, CNN and MSNBC. So when we're attacked, the response is supposed to be symbolic, not a real response. And this was a real response, and that's and if you listen to the pundits, that's what their major grievance is that Trump had an actual response that was meaningful and not symbolic.
Not just a response to a symbolic response. Let me explain. I listened last night again, and Sean Hannity had inside information. Okay, the people in that embassy lives were totally at risk. That was the first thing the president said. Are their lives at risk?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just that they were throwing rocks and stones. They were trying to get in, and there weren't enough of them to hold off all those people. They were trying to hurt Americans, and the bottom line is the President of the United States stepped up, and the hell with the commie Democrats already. They're disgusting.
See, what happens here is, like 9/11 happened because when Al-Qaeda attacked us in the past, Bill Clinton was president for the most of that, and the response was nothing. The African embassy bombings, the coal, et cetera, et cetera. And Al-Qaeda did not think that America would have a massive response, that there would be some symbolic response and they could suck it up. Not a massive response, which was an invasion of Afghanistan. And Iran has made the same tactical error with the United States now with Donald Trump. If they thought there would have been a meaningful response, their general would have been in Iran, not walking around Baghdad like he owned the place.
It's October 23rd. Do you know what that significance of that date is?
I do not, no.
All of the Marines were 220.
Oh, the barrack bombings? Yeah. Yeah. The barracks bombing, yeah. No, he didn't. And the response to Libya was not that. There was remember the bombing of the nightclub in Germany was what got the bombing of Libya. A lot of people think it was the barracks. No, Ronald Reagan bugged out when the barracks bombing happened. Yeah, I know, and that's amazing.
Bug out to work more bold than I was getting.
Yeah. Well, the problem is, though, the Iranians are not sane. And I'll tell you, they're getting bad advice because the Iranians, their advice is based off of people like John Kerry and they've been getting very bad advice from their advisors and American friends since Trump has been president. And they've That's right. All right, Richie, take care. Thanks for the call. It's 8:01. It's Friday. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. 2 hours down, 1 to go. Actually, less than 1 to go because I'm 1 minute past the top of the hour. We'll be right back after this.
Money Talk Network is 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470, WWNN Pompano Beach.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Sole Authority. At the Sole Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware that as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to 1 pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Sole Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoleauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Homeowners, would you like to save
Sarah's
more
becoming a cruise
each and
addict.
every month? Of course you would. We all want to save more money. But how? By calling I Will Advisors, that's how, at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. And have their expert team review your homeowner's policy. I Will Advisors will review your policy at no charge. Most homeowners never review their policy, but it should be reviewed every year. You commercial property owners, same goes for your property insurance policy. So what are you waiting for? Call I Will Advisors and start saving money. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work
right.
done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a
So
crown
am
on
I.
the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life.
You gotta shut your door.
Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them
'Cause he didn't tell
Lori Kane
Congress.
sent you.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2
You
to
took
3
2 of the
p.m.
blood
at the
pressure
Courtyard by
medications?
Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event,
You don't have a
855
thing for your
FLA
medications?
Estate, 855-352-3722.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
I take
The opinions expressed in the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, but staff, management, or
Okay.
sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays. and
Yeah, no, Steve took 2 blood
overnights
pressure
midnight
pills
till
by
6
accident.
a.m.,
It
7
happens.
nights a week. To call the show to
All right. Hour number 2 has begun. Steve's here, but just a disclaimer. Steve mistakenly overdosed this morning on blood pressure medication and took 2 of his blood pressure medications. Well, it happens. It happens. You know, long time ago, I briefly, for a few months, I had high blood pressure, and I took blood pressure medication. This was a few years back. And when I could stop taking it, I was so happy because blood pressure medication made it where I had a difficult time reading because it affects the vessels in the eyes as well. And Steve's taken 2. He's overdosed on it. Hopefully it's a low dose. So it happens. It's happened. I've done things. A couple mentions here. I was just listening to Lori talk about the great deals over at Dr. Gupta's Brighton Dental. And Dr. Gupta came in on the show with his daughter right after Christmas, and he sweetened the pot a little bit, and he made incredible offers to add to his already incredible specials and low prices for Steve Kane listeners. He's offering 3 things for free. I know, free. I know. It's crazy. 3 things, and he said it on the air, and I double-checked it with him, and he's like, yes, we're going to do. So on top of Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental's incredible low prices on all of their dental procedures, there are 3 free things that Dr. Gupta is offering to Steve Kane listeners, okay? So listen carefully. Free exam. Free x-rays at that free exam. I mean, that's an incredible deal, right? Free exam and free x-rays. That's absolutely amazing. On top of his already low prices. Now, here's one I have never heard of in my entire life when it comes to dental medicine or dental practices. Now, when you go to a doctor and they tell you you need a procedure, most people want to get a second opinion before they have a procedure done. In the field of dentistry, I've never heard of second opinions until Dr. Gupta. And listen, let's face it here. There's a lot of dentists out there that are doing all kinds of work that doesn't need to be done, and including things that are painful, serious, and of course, expensive. So Dr. Gupta is offering free second opinions. So if you have been to the dentist and they tell you you need this or that, no matter what it is, call Dr. Gupta's office at Brighton Dental. The number I'm going to give to you in a moment is listed at stevekaneshow.com.
As are all
Absolutely.
sponsors.
Absolutely. And he is offering free second opinions. So again, free exam and free x-rays and free second opinions, because Dr. Gupta understands what a lot of guys are doing and ladies are doing in the field of dentistry. And he is an honest dentist and doesn't want you to have any... Now, maybe you need the procedure. And if you do, you know what? Dr. Gupta will tell you. But you know what? You may not, and he's going to tell you that too. So call Dr. Gupta, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. All right, now, Steve, during the break, said something to me about this military conflict with Iran. I want to throw this out, and the question is this a good point that Steve's making, or is he just loopy from taking 2 of his blood pressure pills? But I think we'll find out with it, you know. It happens, Steve. I've taken...
You got me here at a disadvantage, and now you're going to try to humiliate me.
I'm not trying to humiliate you. I'm making an excuse for why you may seem a little loopy today. You haven't really talked much yet, so it may not be affecting you. I'm sure you're on a low dose anyway, you know. You're on a low dose. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, but you were saying during the break that since, you know, President Trump didn't inform Congress again before this response to Iran because he doesn't trust Congress, then they'll leak it out, and it would, you know, when there's a military action, you don't want it leaked out. But you said that maybe Pelosi will actually
Eventually.
add him not informing Congress on the ISIS head being taken out, and now the Iranian guy to the articles of impeachment.
You don't put it past them.
I think Pelosi wants out of the impeachment.
She may want out of it, but she's still got her eye in the rearview mirror watching El Cortez or whatever.
El Cortez. La Cortez.
Charging from behind.
Yeah.
You know, coming
Yeah.
down the stretch.
Yeah.
So, it could, look, stranger things could happen. It could end up being a point of impeachment.
Well, they're agreeing with you in the chat room, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. That's where you get all your ideas, right? The chat room?
No, not all my ideas.
No, the good ones.
No.
I mean, some of them.
No.
None?
When I don't pay attention to the chat when I'm on the air. I really don't. I do look during the break. I did see when you're talking, I might take a glance, but no, I don't look at the chat. The reason I don't is because when Hannity used to do his live remotes with an audience, it used to drive me nuts when he would talk to the in-person audience when he was on the radio. So I try not to pay much attention to the chat while we're on the air. Not to be rude to you guys, but to the radio audience, I don't think it's good to listen to that. You know, I don't think that's what people listen to radio for. But no, you know, President Trump didn't tell Congress because they'll leak it out.
It's a secret thing.
Yeah, he doesn't trust them. Should he trust them?
No.
I mean, I wouldn't trust. That, you know, at least they'll start leaking it to the press.
I don't know. This is going to start to get good.
Well, I'm not.
Actually, it's been good for a long time.
I'm not happy about. I mean, I don't want a war.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you don't want a war. My son is getting ready to go over into the Middle East.
I told you to push him into the Coast Guard.
You don't push Alex anywhere.
It's tough to push your kid, but I was, you know, Coast Guard's great.
That was my first thought.
Yeah, and if he gets stationed in a great place like Florida, it's spectacular.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not, you know.
His family living down there.
Yeah, exactly. No, I understand. Well, he's going to be a tank commander soon. He's in tank school, right?
He is in tank. They call it armor.
Armor, yeah, armor tank school. So he must be pretty much through it.
He's getting towards the end of the. He's been up there about 5 months now.
Oh my goodness, really?
Just working on the armor portion of his.
I wonder how long the training is. Do you know? Did he told you?
Enough for me.
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully it's long enough that this will be over. I don't know. Do they use the tanks in the desert areas?
Oh, yeah.
Can the tanks go through the sand?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
All the pictures the Desert Fox.
Well, that's true. I guess I forgot about the Desert Fox. Rommel, I forgot. You're right. I guess they do go in the sand. And those are the old tanks from World War II. I guess so. Yeah. Well, I just didn't think they used tanks anymore.
Yeah.
I thought they were just for parades.
I'm finding out, trying to learn as much.
They're not just for parades. They're actually.
No. They each tank has a 5-man crew. There's a commander or whatever it is that's in charge.
Well, he'll have more than one tank.
The team.
He'll have like a few tanks under him because he's an officer. I would imagine he'd have like 3 or 4 or 5 tanks.
I don't know 100% yet. I'm not in a rush to find out.
Yeah.
Let him stay here.
I don't know. That seems to be inside of an armored vehicle like that. That seems to be a pretty good place to be.
Well, unless they do that thing where they pop the top and drop the hand grenade in. And
Oh, that's in the movie, Steve. I think they lock the
It's in
top.
the movie?
And in the movies, the guys in the tanks don't lock the hatch from the inside for some reason, so they can throw grenade. In real life, I think they lock the hatch
I
from the
certainly
inside.
like that.
I've never seen. I know you see that in all the movies. But I'll tell you, my dad got shot in Vietnam. He wasn't a tank guy, but he was sitting on a tank, and they were transporting them somewhere, and he got shot and fell off the tank, and the tank kept going.
Sitting duck.
Yeah, well, he wasn't a tank guy, so they were hitching a ride, and he fell off the tank, and the tank kept going after he fell off shot. Well, they can't stop.
Where did he end up?
In Florida. He's fine. He lived. It was before I was born. But tanks. I would rather be in a tank than not in a tank.
Yeah, this is.
Tank seems safe.
Yeah, I'm trying not to think about it too much.
I did forget about Rommel.
Let everybody know. Let everybody.
Oh well.
He's getting very knowledgeable about tanks. He shows me all the models and the Abrams tanks and this tank and that.
There was a movie with James Garner called Tank, a 1980s movie, and he played an Army tank guy, and he had his own World War II era tank, and something happened. I can't remember what happened. It was one of those things. It was kind of like his son was jammed up with the corrupt local sheriff, and James Garner broke his son out of jail with the tank and was speeding. It was kind of like Smokey and the Bandit, but with a tank. James Garner and Tank. You should watch the movie. No, so what's going on in Iran? I thought President Trump was pretty brilliant with his response.
Oh yes, you'll find he makes good decisions. And,
Always.
Yeah, and that's half the Democrats' problem is they're
That's
always
right.
reacting against Trump's decisions. Trump decisions are almost always right.
Oh, yeah.
And consequently,
Well, one of the criticisms I heard from one of the old Obama people.
you still get Obama calls?
No. This was on CNN. I was watching CNN. Their analysis, and they had one of these advisors to Obama. And apparently, what the advice they used to give to Obama is when America is attacked, do nothing. Yeah, do nothing. Do nothing. Do nothing. But one of them said that President Trump's policy is erratic. Well, that's what you want in this situation.
Exactly.
They don't. That's right, and that scares them because they don't know what he's going to do. Now, Lindsay.
They don't trust them. They trust the Iraqis and the Iranians more than they trust Trump.
Well, I'm thinking, Lindsey Graham is a smart guy. He's a smart guy. And Lindsey Graham said yesterday that if I worked at an Iranian oil refinery, I'd find a new job. And I'm thinking that's misdirection because he's basically saying the refinery's next. I think that's misdirection.
Well, it could be true. I mean, they need the oil right now more than we do.
Oh, we don't need their oil.
Because we're independent, thanks to
Donald Trump. If it does escalate and they take out wells and refineries over there, and it causes any type of supply shortage and slow down in the supply, that helps the U.S. economy because our oil will be worth more money. So this really is going to be another boom to the new Roaring '20s that we're in.
whatever Trump does ends up, in every case that I can think of, turns out to be right.
He's never made a mistake.
And the Democrats just keep, like you, when you're stubbing your toe on it.
Yeah.
A piece of your bed that's sitting out.
Yeah.
The bed frame, and it's
Yeah.
out a little bit further than it should be. And
Yeah.
every time you pass by it, you whack your toe on it.
That's right. Now have you been using that My Pillow body pillow?
Yes. Oh, I love it.
Now, if you guys go to SteveKaneShow.com, my wife and I, we made this video at home of the My Pillow body pillow.
Praise your work. She does a lot of our creative work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And she's extremely talented.
Yeah.
The power behind the throne, as it were.
Yeah.
And she did this. What do you call it?
Well, she filmed me and then did some very good editing on a video. We got actually, this is your body pillow in the video. If you go to SteveKaneShow.com, you'll see me in my living room and in my garage, in the laundry room. We got Steve's body pillow in the mail, and I show what it looks like when you get it in the mail, and then what you do when you after you get it. And you get to see the body pillow and everything else. It's Steve's body pillow.
It's really exciting.
It is an exciting video. It's about 90 seconds. So go to Steve Kane Show and watch it. But the My Pillow body pillow is a big My Pillow, the length of a body, and it's usually $89.99. But when you use the promo code Kane, Kane at checkout, just $29.99, and that's a pretty good deal.
And pets love it too. We're very pet intensive at the King household.
Yeah.
And the way it works, I wrap myself around the body pillow, and then the cats, when they're ready to sleep, come and sit on me.
Oh, great.
So it's like a body pillow. So much for a living sleep.
Yeah.
It's like a body pillow sandwich.
Yeah.
With meat as the meat.
Yeah. That body pillow is nice though. It's just as soft and everything, just like the regular My Pillows, except it's big and long to curl up with. It's really. So anyway, it's usually $89.99, but when you use the promo code Kane, Kane at checkout, just $29.99. And if you go to SteveKaneShow.com, you can actually see me with Steve's body pillow from the time I get it in the mail until it's ready to give to you.
Post Christmas holiday thing that we're doing, almost everything is on sale.
That's correct.
So you can not only pick up the body pillow, but all the accoutrements that go with it. Do you like that word?
I like it. We got a break.
Let's take a break. We'll be back. Suffer from
It's 20 after. We're running late. That's right.
Pay careful attention.
Okay, Janet just texted me. She's gonna call in at 8:30 today.
Spine, back surgeries to alleviate back pain frequently backfire, leaving the
Yeah, I
patient
told him
in
yesterday.
more pain than
Yeah, I
before
did.
they
I
had
will.
the surgery. A second study from the University of Cincinnati College of Medicine provides clear evidence.
But we just, because of that call in, we got to make sure we take the break on time at 8:15. I know. I agree.
Dr. Troy Lemaski is my personal chiropractor, and if the name sounds familiar, it should. He's the brother of Dr. Janae Lemaski. Dr. Troy specializes in the elimination of back pain, sciatica, joint pain. He does it quickly, easily, and without surgery or pain medication. While he can help you with your back and neck pain, Dr. Troy also provides treatment to the hips, the shoulders, the knees. If you've been in a car accident, any type of injury, or slip and fall, the pain won't go away. Well, you want to get back to your old self, you want to call Dr. Troy. His number 954-463-3036. That's 954-463-3036. Online.
There's only really one topic. I mean,
Tell him that Steve Kane sent you.
not much. A couple little.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. To call the show toll free, 1-888-GO.
Oh man. Oh boy, I'm reading the CNN website headlines on what happened here. Okay, Pompeo says airstrikes disrupted an imminent attack. See, you know, these Democrats and leftists on TV,
They don't get it.
they got
don't get
it before they criticize. They need to sit back and let things play out a little bit.
Let the pre-attack propaganda kick in.
Yeah,
Give it a little time.
Well, if they would have waited until this morning, so obviously we had intelligence information that they were going to attack us again. So this was a preemptive strike. This was a response and a preemptive strike because this is the guy that was planning the attack. That's probably why he was still in
By the
Iraq.
way, I mean, I don't know if your mind works this way. Mine does, but that doesn't necessarily have to be true to be effective.
I don't think Pompeo would lie about it. And then
It's not a question of law. It's a question of strategic. Would they have a word for what is it? Strategic.
well, George Bush said
Propaganda or
strategery.
something like
Yeah,
Strategic.
strategery. Remember
Exactly
strategery?
right. And the Democrats always get caught up in the wrong strategery.
Yeah. And then Trump has said, see, Trump, he's egging them on. He says, Iran has never won a war. He says Iran has never won a war. That's true. Oh my goodness.
I hope the Iranian troops are reading that. That was demoralizing.
Well, no, they don't have access to the internet. You know, they don't have access to the internet over there. Just the leaders do. No.
But all the silly, you know, here, and you want to talk about fake media. Nobody's realized this yet, but they're about to. That all the demonstrating you see in the streets, the rabble running amok and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They're all demonstrating against the mullahs.
Mhm.
They're demonstrating in support of the U.S.
Yeah.
But of course, you don't look to an anchor, TV anchor, to tell you that, because that's why you listen to the Steve King show.
Yeah, and they said there were only 6 people killed in this strike, and you know that they had to be his top guys around him,
Yes.
his bodyguards and things that drive. You know.
Need a whole new upper echelon.
Well, when they start discussing this and they start getting, because everybody's, oh, he's responsible for the death of thousands. When they start getting into the details of all of the terrorist attacks that this guy's been involved in over the last 20 years, you know,
But how smart? But just everything. How smart is that? That they know to knocking off the leaders, the people making the decisions. If they're safe in a bunker and all that kind of stuff, it's no big thing. If they know that they're the major targets,
yeah.
they're going to think twice before launching an attack.
The Iranians,
right?
yeah, the Iranians did not think there would be any response, or the guy wouldn't have been hanging
Well,
out in
that's what
Iraq.
they used to Obama.
Yeah, yeah.
That's exactly it. They
Yeah.
used to the red line theory of foreign policy.
I mean, this guy was just hanging out like a tourist in Iraq, and well, yeah. If he thought there would have been a response against him, he would have been back in
You're
Iran.
going to see that now.
I think they'll be pulling out whatever Iran has left.
It's not a question of pulling out. They're going to, the leaders now, before they call a strike and identify themselves as the leader. The guy who got killed was a big shot. He was getting publicity. He used to.
Yeah.
They called him the Shadow because he was low key.
Yeah.
He kept a low profile, and nobody knew who he was, and they called him the Long Shadow, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And the Long Shadow.
The Long Shadow.
Is
Sounds
really
like-
a long
sounds like a
shadow
movie.
today from one end of Iraq to the other.
Yeah.
Or Iran, one end to the other, and now they've got to calculate that before they make their.
Well, he was taunting Trump on Twitter. He was he was saying,
was
"Bring it
looking
on."
he was looking to become a major figurehead.
Because we never respond to them.
Exactly.
It's always symbolic.
But boy, what a miscalculation on this guy's part.
It won't be. Have you heard anyone say "wag the dog" yet with Trump? I haven't heard that.
You will before the day's
Yeah,
over.
probably before the end of the. Well, when Bill Clinton would respond, he responded. He would he responded. He would blow up the intelligence agency at 2 a.m. when everybody's home and kill all the janitors that are cleaning the offices. I mean, this is probably the first meaningful, significant response to a U.S. embassy attack in history of the United States. The first, I mean, you go back. You've got the African embassies, you've got the Iranian embassy, you've got Benghazi, and you've got this. So we've got 4 instances, and this is we didn't respond in Tehran, we didn't respond in Benghazi, and in the African embassy bombings, Bill Clinton sent the FBI to handle it like a crime scene investigation. There was no military response there either. So this is the first significant, meaningful response to a U.S. embassy being attacked in history, I think, as far as I know. And they didn't expect it, because why should they?
All right, let's plow ahead here. It is time for our bottom of the hour break. We'll be back. Steve King Show to continue with Brian Craig after this. If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. The Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes.
Well, you're here, okay.
especially for
We both got to do it,
diabetics.
okay.
You're probably not aware.
She hasn't called yet,
that
so.
As a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Are you looking to sell your house or buy your dream home? Then call LaBella Real Estate. LaBella Real Estate love President Trump, and like Donald Trump, LaBella Real Estate want to get you the highest dollar amount when selling your home. And when looking for a new home, LaBella Real Estate will find you the best deal. LaBella Real Estate have over 20 years of experience in real estate and mortgages, and they are very knowledgeable about the South Florida real estate market. If it's a condo,
I got another
single-family
spot.
home, a
I
luxury
got another
home,
spot.
LaBella Real Estate can help. Buying
You
or
can do it
selling,
when we come
call
back,
LaBella
though I got to
Real
do another
Estate
spot.
at 561-445-7023. 561-445-7023. And online, LaBellaRealEstateLLC.com. This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses,
Steve King?
lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve King Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
You know, listening to the program this morning on the way in, and Brian mentioned this earlier, we've got a whole new, we've got all the old sponsors pretty much, but we have a whole bunch of new sponsors. And we found out in talking to our new people as they come on, the thing that is attracting them all to the Steve Kane Show is that we are Donald Trump intensive. You know, Trump people tend to be entrepreneurial, they tend to be business type people, they certainly support the principles of the free market and
Steve
stuff
Kane
like
Show.
that. So we have
Hey.
become known as the Donald Trump station.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
You're the guy that does Trump all the
That's
time.
right.
Yeah,
That's
well,
right.
That's good. Listen, what the heck? Let's piggyback a little.
How could you be in business and not be pro-Trump? It makes no sense. Why were you going to be for Bernie Sanders and Biden? We have Janet Cimarelli on the line, Steve.
Janet Cimarelli, my old friend. How are you, my dear?
Well, I am very, very fine. So happy New Year, Steve. Happy New Year, Brian.
Happy
I
New
just
Year to
wanted
you.
call.
And how are things at Save-A-Lot?
Things are going to be wonderful because starting on Monday, 8:30 every morning, I will be giving your listeners the Save-A-Lot health news they can use. I'm so excited to be back.
Well, it's always exciting having you back. I was over there yesterday picking up those wonderful things you gave me for my stomach and my digestion, which have worked so well. The ones that are refrigerated. And listen to this, everything now at Save-A-Lot, this is the time to do your shopping for the whole year because everything is 15% off.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't have sales like that usually at Save-A-Lot, so this is a unique opportunity. Tell them about it a little bit, Jen.
Oh, okay, so Al Foreman, who owns Save-A-Lot, and he has a policy of everyday low pricing. So he doesn't necessarily do a week-long sale or a day-long sale or anything like that. He does everyday low pricing. And the 15% off is on his everyday low price. So you can go anywhere on the internet. You can go anywhere else doing your shopping for supplements and health supporting substances. You can go anywhere else and you will never find anything priced lower than you can find all of your favorite brands at.
Well, Save-A-Lot is located in Margate, just south of Sample Road on the west side of State Road 7, 441, in what used to be the Penn Dutch Plaza that we now call the Save-A-Lot Plaza.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right. All right, Janice, so we'll talk on Monday. All right, take care. Take care. Oh, man. But, you know, I'll tell you this stuff with Iran. I don't like when people start cheering on these, like, all right, they're, like, excited, like there might be a war. I don't care for that. I feel a little tone of that.
Don't you understand? It's not a war.
Well, it could be.
A war, listen to this perspective. See, if you agree, you may disagree. The people in the chat room may be telling you differently. But
Why do you think I get everything I say comes from the chat?
keep talking about the chat room.
I made a reference to something. I said, I told you I don't really pay much attention while we're talking on the air to the chat.
Oh, okay, just clarifying that.
I mean, you want to give away all my material, like saying I'm stealing and plagiarizing from the chat room?
Oh,
We're talking about a war.
When one thinks of a war, one thinks of two sides with one army on each side, and the two sides engaged in trying to take out the other side. That's a war. This is not a war. This is a shooting gallery, okay, where we just go and pick off Iranian targets, and they suffer casualties and losses of material and losses of technology and all that kind of stuff. So I don't describe what's going on as a war.
Well, the problem, and I don't agree. I mean, Iran has terror cells all over the world that they're backing, in particular in the Middle East.
But it's not a war in the conventional sense. I don't know.
Well, that's true. It's not World War II, but you know, Vietnam wasn't a war in the conventional sense. Now, I don't like it. I mean, President Trump did what he had to do, and it was very smart what he did.
Well, I have a feeling he's not finished.
Oh, whatever his response to their response has already been planned, ordered, and they're on standby.
All of them.
Yeah, he probably has. He's probably 5 responses ahead of them in planning, and the green light has been given.
Smarter he is than they are, which is why he's always right.
But it's Steve. The Iranians are not going to. They're not going to stop.
You want to throw out our usual challenge?
What's that?
Trump, I don't know what's it called. The Trump infallibility.
Oh, he's always right. He's never been wrong about anything. Never.
You
Never.
disagree and say, oh, that's ridiculous. Of course
Never.
he's wrong all the time.
Never.
Just call us here and then
Never wrong.
in anything he says and anything he does, no matter how outrageous it looks from the outside.
Yeah.
3 days into it, you know, and as a big Trump follower, he says things all the time that initially, that's the key, initially say, oh my God, what does he do? How could he say that? They're really going to get him on this one. And 3 days into it, it turns out
he's always
his
right.
new slogan.
He's always right. No, he's always right. I would never question Trump because he's always right. He knows what he's doing, and
That's correct.
But the Iranians are insane.
They can only be insane as long as
I
you're
don't see
above
this.
the ground and breathing.
I don't see this ending anytime soon. There's an ongoing
It's not gonna
back
end
and
in
forth.
a conventional way. It's not going to end with an armistice like Lee at Appomattox.
We're still, Steve, we've been fighting in Iraq now for 17 years. I mean, it's crazy to think about that. 17 years this war's been going on in Iraq. Afghanistan, even longer, 18 years, you know.
Let's hear from some of the listeners. Let's get their perspective. Please, if you are a pro-Trumper, we have just, don't take this wrong, don't take this personally, we have just ground the Democratic followers into the ground, and they are bloody and beaten, and I understand we're asking a lot when we ask you to call back in and subject yourself to all this reality we have on the Steve Kane Show. We'll do our best to go gently, but don't be a coward. Stand up for what you believe in, no matter how stupid, no, strike that. No matter how, novel or interesting your position may be, we promise to be nice and not to be too disrespectful, as long as you're respectful to us.
That's
another thing with Democrats, they tend to be disrespectful.
Bloomberg, I had this clip of Bloomberg. I got to turn the audio up because it's hard to get good audio, but he's talking about the Texas church shooting. Listen. Steve Kane Show. Okay.
Listen to the excitement. Listen to the energy.
Yeah. Okay. So what Bloomberg's saying, he has no energy. He's saying that guns are for law enforcement. You don't want the average citizen carrying guns. Now, keep in mind that he's responding to the private citizens with guns stopping a mass shooting in the Texas church, and he says you want the police. Listen, the police, the people in the pews, if they could think about it while they were hiding from the mass shooter, might be able to call 911 on a cell phone, and the police might be able to respond in a few minutes and then put up a perimeter and decide what's going to go. The police are after the fact. It's after the crime, after the mass shoot. It's amazing to me that when we see that private citizens with guns stopped a mass shooting, the first time I think we've ever seen private citizens with guns stop a mass shooting, he says, no, the guns are for the police. So, how many people would have been?
And then again, it adds more stupidity to what he's saying is you can't name a single instance.
Yeah, except the one.
While talking about
the one where it
he's
happened.
Talking about.
I'm surprised how low energy he is. I mean, listen to this guy. I thought, yesterday I told you that he's probably most likely right now to be the nominee. Not anymore. Listen to this. Listen to this. He's like a hypnotist. He'll hypnotize. It's like, listening to that.
Listen to this while driving.
Oh, man. Yeah. It's insane. I thought he would have a little more.
What? Energy?
Well, he has this media empire, this huge international corporation. Usually those types of guys have a little bit of charisma. That's why they're successful in business, like Trump. You see a lot of these, no charisma, nothing.
Well, Trump's one of a kind. I mean, there's not a lot of people like Trump.
No, usually people that are like CEOs, corporate levels, they have like a stage presence, a TV, something, and he has counter charisma.
Right.
He does. I mean, I'm shocked. Yeah. Counter. I'm shocked at how monotone he is. He's not even excited about his own candidacy. How's he expect anybody to be excited about it other than him?
His candidacy's not going to start till after, was it Tuesday, Terrible Tuesday? Or
Yeah.
What's the name of that?
Super Tuesday?
Super Tuesday. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. No. I mean, when we see these Democrats, when you see private owners with guns stop a mass shooting for the first time in history, we've seen it happen. We've heard about it happening before, but we see it happening, and they're saying still private citizens shouldn't have guns. There's no way.
He uses it as an example to prove his point.
It makes. Are they stupid? Are they propagandists? Do they think the people are stupid? What is it?
Hit the nail on the head the first time.
I mean, they could at least say, well, in this case, this is the. They don't even say, well, this is the exception. They say this never happens. When you're seeing it.
I think we're being too aggressive, too nasty with them. They have their point of view. their perspective is a little off, or more than a little off, depending on how good your perspective is. And we want to be gentle, reach out to them, try to help them. Imagine how you, just imagine this. I'm trying to bring out,
Yeah.
they say we who follow Donald Trump have no empathy, okay? Just imagine what it's like for these people. Just try to put yourself in their shoes. Every time you open your mouth, something stupid comes out.
Yeah.
Every time you open your mouth in front of Donald Trump, he goes after you and cuts your legs out from under you. I mean, these people they're battle torn. Talk about battles. They're battle torn, battle weary, and then they call the Steve Kane Show hoping to get a nice, friendly discussion going. And what do? We show our gratitude by eviscerating
Well,
them.
we can't help it. They're on the wrong side of every issue.
Yeah, it's hard to be wrong on everything.
You know that that concealed weapon permit holder stopped the concealed weapon permit holder in Texas. He stopped a mass shooting. There were 2 people that were killed. Elizabeth Warren says injured. I couldn't believe she said injured. You know, and then she goes on to say that yeah, they were killed, Elizabeth Warren, but a lot more would have been killed. And you know, the way churches are set up, hiding on the bench or under the pew is no defense. There's no protection with that because it's all empty underneath. And the backs in front of you were low. There's no, I mean, it was, they were sitting ducks for that shooter if it wasn't for the concealed weapon permit holders. They should at least say, well, it worked there.
How far do you think this is going to go? Do you think we're ever going to
What go? The gun?
We're going to reach a time where every church, it's customary to have a armed security officer at every church service?
Yeah, I would imagine this Sunday, churches all over America are going to have more guns in them than they've had in years. People are going to start, a lot of,
Do you think it'll ever become
the
I
norm?
don't want to call it a fad, the norm, that's the word I'm looking for.
It may be more than you think already. You know, if you go to any big church, I would imagine.
Well, after last weekend, after that footage of the successful
stopping.
security man.
Oh man. Well, remember the volunteer security force.
I think it is time for the gold report.
Yeah.
You want to talk about excitement? Oh boy, this is what it's like, folks. When the precious metals get hot every day is a new and exciting story. We'll be back with William Youngerman after this. For the best wings in this town,
okay.
Plus, wings that are first grilled and then fried to make them extra crispy.
That's your phone.
Blue cheese and celery. Try the Jamaican jerk, the lemon pepper wings, the honey mustard wings, the garlic wings, and 15 other varieties. That's Wings Plus, located at 9880 Sample Road in Coral Springs, with a politically elite meat.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all, and our skin bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup.
Hold on.
There's no better doctor to take care of this
I can't
for
do it
you
now.
than Dr. Jose Mendez. Dr. Mendez is a board-certified dermatologist, and when it comes to caring for your skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible,
Hey there.
and
Hold on.
skin cancer,
Youngerman.
you want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual skin cancer exam is covered by Medicare.
Nothing.
Dr. Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve Kane.
I just can't believe you got another one of these phones. That just.
It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe.
Well, what she said made sense to me. If the other option was getting a whole new system that I didn't know anything about.
There you go.
7681.
Did you knock off some? Every time you get your hands on my
Yeah.
phone, knock
When you
off
call,
as many
make sure you ask for
as you can.
Sarah. She takes extra good care of Steve Kane listeners and will get you an appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681.
Hey guys, are you losing your hair? Stop hair loss in its tracks and call Dr. Mitch Matez for a free consultation. Talk to him about hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy will stop hair loss in its tracks. And the hair you have left will grow in thicker and fuller. Stop your hair loss and call Dr.
Who?
Matez. 561-953-5490.
Oh,
561-953-5490.
um,
Online at
Wednesday.
hormonetherapybocoraton.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, the moment has come. The big moment, I might add. The Gold Report brought to you by William Youngerman of William Youngerman Inc. William, of course, one of the leading precious metals dealers on the planet Earth. And if you have followed his advice through the 53 years he has been giving advice to clients and to, his inner circle, you can be part of that inner circle. And let's find out how gold and silver are faring today. William, what's it looking like?
Looking very strong, Steve, after Middle East tensions continue to heighten after the attack last night. We saw huge gains on the precious metals after our closing last year of $1,517, which was up $237 on the year, an 18.5% gain for gold. Gold continued to rally into the new year, closing up another $11.90 yesterday at $1,528.70. Silver closed up 18 cents at $18 the ounce. Platinum was up $14 yesterday, closing at $9.78. And palladium was up $18 at $1,941. Overnight, as we saw the attack take place, and the gold shot up to $1,552 the ounce. That's right up against the highs that we saw last year. Before pulling back a little bit now at $1,546, that's up another $17.30. So we're up something like $37 in just a couple of days here. Silver up 8 cents this morning at $18.08 the ounce. We did get up to $18.34 so far this morning. Platinum was up $5 at $983. The high got up right up against the $1,000 number for platinum overnight at $998. And right now, palladium at $1,950. That's up $9. So big moves for the precious metals as a fight to safety takes place. Stock markets of the world seem to be going much lower, and that's causing some money to come into the precious metals again. If this continues, then we could see much higher prices on the precious metals.
What do you anticipate as a high for the coming year?
Well, we were thinking in terms of $1,620 for the year 2020, but I'm beginning to think that's going to be overshot by quite a bit. So we could be seeing new highs in the precious metals before this year is out. There's a lot of things that are on the agenda that could cause gold to really spike much higher. Money flowing in a different direction other than the stock market could push gold to new record highs. The Middle East and just the whole political economic condition of the world and the thinking of people right now could be fuel for gold to go much higher.
And you are a buyer when it comes to precious metals as well as a seller. Tell the audience a little bit about that.
Certainly for over 50 years we've been making a two-way market, all of the precious metals in all of its different forms. Whether buying or selling, you can bring in collectibles or anything that you have for quick cash, or everything we have in the precious metals is in stock for immediate delivery, no waiting or no shipping.
If you are local, meaning here in South Florida, feel free to just drop in anytime. Located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. That's the Bank of America building. You'll find William on the first floor directly across from the bank. You can reach him by phone anywhere really, 1-800-327-5010, and go to the website at great website, WilliamYoungerman.com. Check it out. William, great talking to you, and we'll be seeing you soon, all right?
Oh, okay. Have a great day.
You take care, and we are back.
When you got, for this Iranian coverage, you got to watch CNN. You got to watch CNN.
Tell me tease me.
Well, well, don't go there for truth. I mean, what you're going to hear is the Iranian case, basically.
You're going to hear I see.
Well, because
if you want to know the enemy's position.
The
Democratic town hall.
Well, on CNN, their pundits and guests and analysis is all done by ex-Obama officials.
One positive word about Trump yet on this morning's coverage?
Well, the one I got this. I'll play you this little bit of a montage that was put together by Newsbusters. But
is that the one where they repeat the same?
no.
Or is
But
that-
you'll hear their analysis after the response to the attack on our embassy, and there's symbolic condemning of, well, he was a bad guy, he killed a lot of people. But when
They
they,
all say that.
but it's just like a
But what the
disclaimer.
hell?
It's
Right.
it's like a disclaimer.
His mother loads him.
Yeah, it's like those disclaimers for the ads that they say so fast that you can't understand. Well, you know what I mean. But this was put together by Newsbusters.
Strike is fairly brazen, fairly audacious to a certain degree to be taking out someone of such significance at a time when there is such tension in the region.
There has always been tension in the region, and there's been tension for 41 years with Iran. But anyway.
The region.
But the issue is, was this a wise move, and what are going to be the repercussions? And is the Trump administration ready for this escalating crisis with Iran? And so, leaving aside the justice of the issue, the question is, was it a wise thing to do? We'll find out in the next few days. But given how haphazard the national security policymaking process is in this administration, you have to wonder. I think this crisis is really reflecting some of the contradictions of President Trump's foreign policy, which can be described as bellicose isolationism. And he keeps talking about wanting to pull out of the Middle East, but also wanting to strike back and be a counterpuncher, and he's making threats. And
so this is all CNN. So when we're attacked, we're not supposed to do anything.
Nice, gotta talk nice.
Yeah, send them pallets of money again. Is that what we're supposed to do?
Threats and issuing ultimatums, and now you're seeing all of that come to a head right now, where this is a crisis that President Trump has really created between the U.S. and Iran. Because
Oh man, it's President Trump's fault that they attacked our embassy.
U.S. and Iran, because although the U.S. and Iran have a long history of animosity dating back to 1979,
Is he talking
relations
about
had
the
actually
Democrats?
quieted down quite a bit since President Obama concluded the Iranian nuclear deal in 2015.
The U.S. right now, even though the president is saying this is meant to keep America safer, is going to find itself in potentially a very vulnerable position.
Again, it's not clear what the objective here. Soleimani is a bad guy. There's no question.
There's the disclaimer.
Was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Did he say was or is?
He said is.
Oh, he hasn't accepted the loss yet. Hold on.
I think I got that right.
Let's see. That's Fareed Zakaria.
Oh.
Okay. Who's the author of the book, The Post-American World.
Right.
I'm serious. I'm serious. He
The
says.
post-American. Where do you think he's coming from?
Yeah.
2015.
The U.S. right
Wait, let's see what he said.
The president is saying this is meant to keep America safer, is going to find itself in potentially a very vulnerable position.
Again, it's not clear what the objective here. Soleimani is a bad guy.
Yeah, he did say is.
This is a bad guy.
Fareed Zakaria.
He's a dead bad guy now.
Well, Fareed Zakaria has not yet accepted the loss of the Iranian leader.
It must have been.
Yes, he's in the denial phase.
Him and his family.
He's in the denial phase of grief. Yeah, but let's see what else he says, though.
Soleimani is a bad guy. There's no question.
Not anymore.
There's no question. But
He's a bad guy, but
we appear to be, without, by the way, I'd say, without congressional authorization, entering into.
By the way, Lindsey Graham says he was told. He's been here at Mar-a-Lago, Lindsey Graham, so he was told. So Congress was alerted.
Exactly.
Lindsey Graham's in Congress. He knew. He is a bad guy. Can you believe Zachariah, Fareed? That book of his, The Post-American World. My wife and I, we were visiting some members of our extended family, and I saw the book. They had the book in the house. They're liberals. They're liberals. Yeah, I know they're liberals. Steve Kane show.
Rooting for the demise.
Yeah. Oh.
What was Robert Shaw and Jaws? What was the captain's name? Not Queeg.
No, that's the Kane Mutiny.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a joke. Okay, we got Al the John on the line.
Oh.
And he I answered the phone. He says, "This is Al in Washington D.C."
Oh.
Yeah, he's up there in.
Pointed him from the Pentagon.
Yeah, exactly. Al,
Next drone target.
you're on the air, Al.
To the Senate trial. I'm up here in Washington, D.C. And I enjoyed a nice
Surprised they let
breakfast at Trump Hotel.
Is Washington D.C. some gated community in Wellington or
So
something?
who's paying for you? Staying at the Trump Hotel. Who's paying for it? We know you're not paying for it.
Oh, I'm not staying at the Trump Hotel. I just had breakfast there.
Oh.
I have a condo in the DuPont Circle area.
Oh my God. This is getting worse.
Oh, my Lord, I'm going to be...
You-
Tell us what you think. Give us a rundown on how you view the...
I've emailed Brian the photo, so he knows I'm there.
No, I blocked your email. I don't accept emails from you.
But keep them coming.
Oh.
Sorry.
We need material for comedy here.
I'll tell you what. Go out and buy a copy of the Washington Post today. Take a picture of yours.
He's going to fly all the way to Washington?
Yeah, take a picture of yourself in DuPont Circle holding today, like the hostage videos, with today's edition of the Washington Post talking about this strike on the Iranian leader.
You do that?
And then...
You'll do that, Al? When can we expect the
terrorist
picture?
recruitment went up, by the way. Terrorist recruitment is way up in Iran and Iraq.
No.
What did he say?
And then take that photo, get me the photo, and then we'll let you come in the studio as a guest for the last hour of the show one day.
Send you a photo from my phone.
You don't have my phone number. How are you going to text me?
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't. I got a new phone number. That somebody else has that number in you. I have a new phone number that only a select few have.
I'm talking about the one at the 809 number.
No, that number's long gone. I don't have that number anymore. I haven't had that number for months.
All right, anyway, so...
Not baloney. I got a new number. I talked about this.
So what do you think about
Large
green
party.
energy? You think we should have drawn another red line?
Steve, we're out of time.
We're out of time.
Back to reality.
Meanwhile, back on the planet Earth...
He thinks he's got my phone
Al,
number.
take care.
I got a new number because of him.
That does it for the day. We'll be back. When are we going to be back? It's Friday?
Monday. Yeah, Monday.
Monday. This vacation is finally over. We'll see you on Monday, 6 a.m. God bless America.
Oh, my goodness. He thinks he's got my number. Oh, my goodness. All right, guys. See you later. If you don't, make sure you subscribe, all right? Take care.
Tell Janet